This is Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news, intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversation. 96.9 FM. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the position of the management and staff of Guardian Network.
Good morning. More reaction to the revelations from outgoing Commissioner of Police Paul Roll. At least one confirmed case of monkeypox in the Bahamas. And security at PMH being reviewed after alleged incidents. It's all straight ahead this morning. I'm Dwight Strachan, and this is Morning Blend.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. You know that it's there. It's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Good morning again, Bahamas. It is Friday, July 1st, 2022. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Again, I'm Dwight Strachan. In a moment, Stephen Hanna will be joining us. Also this morning, we'll get a preview of the Gombe Summer Festival. And later in Morning Blend Business, our monthly Safe and Sound series returns. We're talking about robust security systems. How robust is yours? That's for businesses and for homeowners as well. We're going to be talking about that. That's coming up. But first, it's time for the overnight, the latest breaking news from while we're sleeping, and the top national and international headlines this morning. In the overnight, police investigating two separate overnight homicides. They are investigating one that occurred on Robinson Road and Washington Street. A man was found unresponsive there. And then there was another incident on Rupert D. Lane. We'll have the details coming up in our 8 o'clock newscast. Two overnight homicides. In other news, a national reference lab confirming that a man who traveled to the Bahamas from the United Kingdom last month was positive for monkeypox. That's according to Health Minister Dr. Michael Darville. The man, who was in his 40s, arrived in the Bahamas from London via British Airways on June 9th. According to the minister, he said samples were taken from him, analyzed by the lab, and confirmed to be positive on June 24th. He says that case was flown out of the country and all of the potential contacts were monitored. The case has resolved. He says there's another suspected case in the country that they are monitoring right now. That individual went through the quarantine process for 21 days, according to the minister. All of the contacts associated with that case also being monitored. He says they're waiting on the final results of the samples to determine whether that is a confirmed suspected case of monkeypox. Dr. Darvel says the suspect is a Bahamian who had contact with someone from a foreign country. The recent global monkeypox outbreak not expected to lead to another pandemic. The Ministry of Health has pointed to the global rise and indicated that it is a manageable health event. Dr. Darvel also saying that officials are considering beefing up security at Princess Margaret Hospital after it was alleged that a 52-year-old man was found having sex with a 14-year-old girl at the hospital. He says a team has gone to the pathogen unit to look to see if they can improve the toilet facilities there. And they're, again, considering beefing up security. Meanwhile, Dr. Darvel says that health officials are moving swiftly to determine whether there are deficiencies in the unit where the pair allegedly were found. He says they believe they can improve the facilities and that they are working on that now. More from the Ministry of Health, Dr. Darvel saying that the $10 million allocated for the rollout of catastrophic health care will help Bahamians pay for life-threatening health care services. He said he's excited about the allocation. Darvel says Cabinet is working on the logistics for how it will be administered. He says funding will be fully audited. Office of the Prime Minister Press Secretary Clint Watson says that taxing Bahamians to ensure the financial sustainability of the National Insurance Board would be taking the, quote, lazy way out. He claimed the government recently put a significant amount of money into NIB in an effort to save the fund from depletion. He says it will not be at the risk of their financial stability right now during a difficult time for Bahamians. He says they're going to manage the situation. Watson also speaking yesterday on the abortion issue. He says it's not something Bahamians are discussing widely, and so it's not a priority for the government to consider whether abortion should remain illegal in the Bahamas. Prosecutors have discontinued a murder and attempted murder case that was pending for 16 years. Rashad Sullivan, who's also known as Mikey, was accused of the February 23, 2006 murder of Samuel Bethel and the attempted murder of Biondi Black. Acting Director of Public Prosecutions Franklin Williams formally discontinued proceedings against Sullivan by issuing a nolle prosequi. However, Sullivan remains on bail as he awaits a trial on allegations that he conspired to murder Dario China Knowles between November 1st and November 25th, 2012. Sullivan is in a wheelchair while he recovers from injuries received in a shooting on March 30th, 2022. Meanwhile, another case ended with issuing of a nolle prosequi. Prison officer Brightman Bain will no longer be tried for the rape of a woman on April 9th, 2018. And an orphan allegedly betrayed a family who took him into their home by molesting their daughter. 27-year-old Colton Albury has denied charges of unlawful sexual intercourse at his trial before Senior Justice Bernard Turner. Prosecutors allege that Albury began violating the girl in 2016 when she was 12 years old. The sexual abuse allegedly continued until the girl turned 13. In her opening address to the jury, the prosecutor said Albury watched his now 18-year-old victim grow up. She says that Albury became like a brother to her, but later turned around and violated her. The trial continues. Albury is out on bail. Overseas, Russian missile attacks on residential areas in a coastal town near the Ukrainian port city of Odessa today, killing at least 19 people, a day after Russian forces withdrew from a strategic Black Sea island. Video of the pre-dawn attack showed the charred remains of buildings in the small town, located about 31 miles southwest of Odessa. The Ukrainian president's office said 3 X-22 missiles fired by Russian bombers struck an apartment building and 2 campsites. Ukraine's security service said 19 people died, including 2 children. It said another 38, including 6 children, and a pregnant woman were hospitalized with injuries. Most of the victims were in the apartment building. The airstrikes followed the pullout of Russian forces from Snake Island on Thursday, a move that was expected to potentially ease the threat to nearby Odessa, home to Ukraine's biggest port. The island sits along a busy shipping lane. Meanwhile, it's not been an easy week for Russian President Vladimir Putin. He took his first foreign trip since the invasion of Ukraine to shore up relations with troublesome Central Asian allies. He watched as NATO declared Moscow its main enemy and invited Russia's neighbors, Sweden and Finland, to join the alliance. And he was forced to deny that his troops had yet again attacked a civilian target in Ukraine. Countering a show of Western unity over Ukraine at a series of summits in Europe this week, Putin has sought to cast the moves by the U.S. and its allies as a proof of their hostile designs. And he vowed to press the offensive against Russia's neighbor, now in its fifth month. Putin long has described NATO's expansion to Russia's borders as the top security threat to his country. When he sent troops to Ukraine on February 24th, he cited increasingly close military ties between Kyiv and the West as the main reason behind his attack. Russia's aggression against its neighbors helping cement Western unity, though, with allies offering billions of dollars in weapons and aid to Kyiv, and slamming Russia with unprecedented sanctions that froze its hard currency reserves, targeted oil and other key exports, and barred its planes from European skies. And China's leader Xi Jinping marking the 25th anniversary of Hong Kong's return with a speech today that emphasized Beijing's control over the former British colony under its vision of one country, two systems. That's countering criticism that the political and civic freedoms promised for the next quarter century have been largely erased under Chinese rule. Xi praising the city for overcoming violent social unrest, a reference to massive pro-democracy protests in 2019 that were followed by a Beijing-driven crackdown that has snuffed out dissent and shut down independent media, aligning Hong Kong more closely with stricter controls under China's ruling Communist Party. The shift shocked many in the city of 7.4 million that Britain returned to China in 1997 after running it as a colony for more than a century. As part of the agreement, China agreed to allow Hong Kong to have its own government and legal system for 50 years. But in the ensuing years, Hong Kong activists pushed back against Chinese efforts to curtail freedoms in the city and even made demands for fully democratic elections, drawing out hundreds of thousands of people for marches in the streets. Under Xi, though, that pushback has been silenced. For years, the anniversary of the July 1st handover was marked by an official ceremony in the morning and a protest march in the afternoon. Now protesters have been cowed into silence in what the Communist Party hails as restoring stability in the city. In sports, the Bahamas Basketball Federation has ratified a 14-member team to play against the U.S. Virgin Islands and the Dominican Republic in the third window of the FIBA Basketball World Cup qualifiers today and Monday. The announcement coming at a press conference at Bahamar Convention Center yesterday. Team Bahamas is currently in St. Thomas for a matchup at the University of the Virgin Islands. That's set for 7 p.m. tonight. The game against the Dominican Republic will be played at Bahamar Convention Center on Monday. That's going to be at 7 p.m. as well. You can read all about the team in today's Guardian Sports section. And there hasn't been an official announcement as yet, but according to credible sources, the Bahamas' team for the World Athletics Outdoor Championships has been named, and the man who's been tapped as the head coach for the squad, extremely optimistic. Accordingly, the 17-member team will represent the Bahamas at the 18th edition of the World Athletics Championships, set for July 15th through 24th in Eugene, Oregon. The team will be led by Olympic champions Stephen Gardner and Shanae Miller-Weibo, both competing in their specialty events, the men's and women's 400 meters. Miller-Weibo is also qualified in the women's 200 meters. You can read more about who's qualified for the team in today's Guardian Sports section. And the world set to come to the Bahamas through the sport of baseball, the biggest baseball tournament to ever be held in the country, just a few days away. The 2022 Babe Ruth Baseball Caribbean Region 12 and Under Championship and 16 and Under Invitational set for next weekend, July 7th through 11th, at the renovated fields at the Blue Hills Sporting Complex. The 2022 Caribbean Region Championship for 12 and Under will feature 8 teams, 2 from the Bahamas. Other nations represented are Aruba, the Cayman Islands, Cuba, Mexico, Puerto Rico, and Jamaica. Teams from the U.S. and as far as China are entered in the 16 and Under tournament. Read more about that in today's Guardian Sports section as well. And from the NBA, the league generating more basketball-related income than ever this past season. The total number coming up just short of $9 billion, so business is good. And the first night of free agency underscored just how good. Nikola Jokic agreeing to the biggest contract in NBA history. Bradley Beal agreeing to a deal worth $250 million, and the money just kept flowing. Shortly after midnight Friday, in the Eastern Time Zone, three more players, Karl Anthony Towns, Devin Booker, and Ja Morant, also agreeing to huge money extensions. Towns and Booker agreed to 4-year deals that will commence in 2024 and are worth at least $224 million, according to their agent. Morant will sign his first rookie extension, one that'll be worth at least $193 million, and could reach the $230 million range. Those five players, Jokic, Beal, Towns, Booker, and Morant, had more than $1.1 billion in money committed to them in their new deals, highlighting the moves made Thursday when the NBA's annual free agent negotiating window opened. Jokic agreed to a Supermax extension to remain with the Denver Nuggets, the two-time reigning MVP guaranteeing himself at least $264 million over 5 seasons, starting with the 2023-2024 campaign. The final number may go up slightly depending on what the league salary cap is going to be at that time in the 23-24 season, and if it exceeds current projections. And in a surprising move and a seismic shift in college athletics, the Big Ten voted to add Southern California and UCLA as conference members beginning in 2024. The expansion to 16 teams will happen after the Pac-12's current media rights contracts with Fox and ESPN expire and make the Big Ten the first conference to stretch from the Atlantic to the Pacific. The announcement, which caught the Pac-12 off guard, came almost a year after Oklahoma and Texas formally accepted invitations to join the Southern Conference in July 2025. Big Ten Commissioner Kevin Warren said USC and UCLA, both members of the Pac-12, and its previous iterations for nearly a century, submitted applications for membership, and the league's Council of Presidents and Chancellors voted unanimously to add the LA schools. That's sports, and that's the overnight. Time for your first look at weather. It's time for your first look at weather for this morning. We've got high pressure that continues to build across the islands, generating gentle to fresh breezes. There's still a risk of rip currents along east coast beaches in the central and southeastern islands. Today we are looking at, for all areas, partly sunny and breezy conditions, especially in the central and southeastern islands. Possible showers and thunderstorms tonight. Small craft caution remains in effect for the central and southeast Bahamas. Temperatures today getting up to around 90 Fahrenheit, 32 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight getting down to about 77 Fahrenheit, 25 Celsius. That's your first look at weather this morning. We'll have an extended outlook and a look at the tropics coming up after traffic in just a bit. You're listening to Morning Blend. When we come back, we're discussing the day's top stories right here on Guardian Radio 96.9, your home for fresh news and smart talk all day.
Tired of banks forcing you to use technology to bank the way they want you to? Your convenience is important. So no matter what your banking needs, Commonwealth Bank's friendly staff are always available in branch for that personal one-on-one service. But when you choose technology, our online and mobile banking app offers you state-of-the-art functionality. The choice is yours. Commonwealth Bank. Bank the way you want.
Technology serves to make our lives better, so why not your business too? At Custom Computers, we've been maintaining our knowledge and relationships with top tech companies since 1987 and carry only the most trusted brands like Apple, Microsoft, HP, and more. No company has helped more businesses build reliable IT systems than Custom Computers. You name it, we've done it. Call 396-1101 to talk to any of our business experts. Find trust in your tech. Count on Custom Computers.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. You know that it's here. It's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day. 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 Wake up, wake up.
Welcome back to Morning Blend here on Guardian Radio 96.9. We're streaming live on GuardianTalkRadio.com and on the Guardian Radio app for smart devices. We're also on your televisions on Cable Bahamas Channel 969 and BTC Flow Channel 612. You can tweet us at MorningBlend969 or Facebook.com/MorningBlend969. Text us on the Guardian Radio text line powered by BTC 422-4796. Remember, standard text rates apply. Coming up this morning, we've got more weather and traffic news. And in our 8 o'clock hour, we're going to be telling you about Gombe Summer Festival. That is it underway already? Yeah, it starts today. And goes through August throughout the Family Islands. We're going to get the details of that. And later in our Morning Blend Business Hour, we're going to be talking, it's our Safe and Sound series once a month. We talk about your safety and security, and we're looking at robust security systems. How robust are yours? We're going to be getting into that in Morning Blend Business. So that is coming up. Once again, I'm Dwight Strachan. Joining me now Stephen Hanna. Stephen Hanna, good morning.
Morning.
Great to have you with us.
Yep.
Flipping through the papers, almost. Let's see how you react. I had to try to contain myself.
Is it laughter?
Yeah, because I don't say anything. I just was flipping through and I just like, what am I seeing here? Let's see if you have a similar reaction to
the old Mac statue?
what? Yeah, don't say anything. You don't have to embarrass anybody. But what's that?
You know.
Yeah. Anyway, all right. So interesting things in the papers, folks. Interesting things in the papers. A lot to get to this morning. Let's begin with what's in the news. And in the news, just more of the number.
Sorry, I'm looking at the Spain's thing, a second treasure thing. Anyway.
Yeah.
No, because I mean, like it would open up a whole kettle of fish if, for some reason, they're allowed to reclaim something for historical purposes or whatever, but nobody wants to pay reparations. But go ahead.
Well, we haven't. I'm sure people. Okay. We haven't been discussing it. No. Why? Yeah. But okay. That's.
We're not discussing it because the money won't go to us anyway.
I mean, no, we don't know what you're talking about. But anyway, okay. We talked about this in depth yesterday, and there's more reaction to it now, and he's talking more after speaking to the media. He went on the Royal Bahamas Police Force. Is it a podcast? What do you call it? Cop Talk? Is there? Yeah. And so he's talking more. Man, that's an interesting place to go and talk about it. But the headline in the Nassau Guardian today: I felt betrayed. Royal airing grievances with the former government over the treatment of senior command, as we detailed yesterday. What he's saying. And how much he tried to refuse to do it, he's saying now as his final few days in office are here. So, again, let's get more of your reaction to all of this. Not hearing much we haven't heard anything from the previous administration on this, as far as I know. Do you want to hear from them? Should they respond to this? What should happen? What should they do?
Who should respond to it?
The previous administration. Somebody there should Minnis, should National Security Minister Dames, should the current administration.
Also, 1 second before we continue. When did we pick up this thing where we refer to former people but don't call them former? Because I've heard several times on the news people call the former Prime Minister Minnis.
Where have you heard that?
On this station.
Okay.
I'm just asking, like, is that a new?
I don't think that's, well, if you heard that was an error. But
I
okay.
heard it more than once.
No. Okay. Anyway, former.
There we go.
Definitely
Thank you.
former.
I just want to.
Definitely
Okay.
former. It's not like president where you
Right,
know,
where
you
were
right.
always the president or.
Yeah. But should you hear from those former people, or even the current administration with the F&M, should they issue a statement on it? Do you want to hear from them, or is this the past now, the history? Those people are back. Everything's been restored, and we move on from there.
I don't know.
What do you say, folks? What do you think should happen here? Do you want to hear from Minnis? Do you want to hear from Dames? Do you think Pintard and Sands should issue a statement? 323-6232. 325-4316. 325-4259. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us, 422-4796. Is it over? It's all's well that ends well, everyone's back, move on?
I don't know.
Or is this something that we need to address now so that it doesn't happen again in the future?
I don't know. I mean, because the thing is, I have a very strong feeling that, one, it's not as though the present leaders of the F&M will take responsibility for the actions of the previous administration.
Well, we don't have to expect them to do that, but just come out and denounce it or say, well, at the time we thought this was the best move.
Yeah, but then see, that means they'd be aligning themselves with the choices that were made in that previous administration.
Or maybe they know something that maybe the commissioner is a little confused. Maybe that's not how it went. And they can explain, well, no, we were in meetings as well, and we heard, and we went. Maybe.
Ain't nobody about to put their head out.
No, that's over. That's the past.
man, right?
Let it go down
And-
with business and names.
Right, and we know that the former prime minister is not going to come out and say, "Oh, I was wrong."
Well, he might
So-
come out and say something else.
Yeah, but whatever he says is just gonna. It won't give us any more clarity. It will only further fuel confusion. At this point, the best thing is to let the commissioner have the last say. That would literally be that's the best option at this point.
Yeah. But again, will we have learned anything? Will this happen again? Could it happen again?
We ain't gonna learn nothing by
Will
listening to that man. I mean, the only thing we could learn is from looking at this action. Well, these are things that happen all the time. There are certain rules and jobs in the government that are political appointees that perhaps should not be, right? That perhaps either should be, we need to figure out a different way to get that person selected, right? And I know that inside certain places, you vote for your sheriff and you vote for your, what do you call it? Not the DA, what the other person is.
No, sometimes they do.
I mean, I don't know
Yeah.
they vote for the DA, but it's another.
The
It's
Attorney
another.
General?
The commissioner and all these different
all
things,
of
right? You sometimes
Judges, they vote for judges too.
right? So it's like, perhaps we need to look at that. Perhaps these people should only be allowed to do this if they are not associated with a party for a certain number of years. Like you have to renounce whatever party you're with for 5 years, and you can't be seen to be fraternizing with them, whatever. Because like, it's not as though the police force doesn't have certain rules and guidelines for their behavior and their conduct or whatever. But like to avoid this thing where it looks like one party is over another party, perhaps certain positions require you to, separate yourself and be more towards public service and the brotherhood of the police force as opposed to any particular party.
Well, I think something is perverse about not just the force, but I mean, everywhere we're hearing this, where people can tell you they know for a fact this person is a member of this party.
That's the thing.
that
Everybody knows.
Why?
But everybody
what is
knows.
this? Why do you have to be like this?
And everybody knows you say FNM.
What is that
No, I
all
mean
about?
specifically you, Dwight.
Don't joke about that.
People will call in and say
Don't
that.
they?
and they'll
They,
accuse
they
it.
talk foolishness,
Right.
Because I'm not with any of them.
But that's the point. They accuse you of both.
Right.
And
well,
so
I
there's-
mean, that's better than being accused of solely being one.
But the thing is, you're never accused of both at the same time. You're accused of both every 5
You'd
years.
be surprised. You'd be
Week to week.
No, day to day. I get messages from one saying, "Oh, you always protected these people," and the other one says, "Oh, yeah, you."
Yeah, and so
yeah.
at the end of the day, it's like no one can stop anybody from accusing you of anything.
No. But that's not what I'm talking about. I'm
And also,
saying
you have
people
the freedom to
know.
associate.
People know for a fact. Oh, he's a campaign general. He's a this. He's a member of the stalwart, whatever. And they know this for a fact, and everybody knows this. And of course, that does add complications.
I mean, if
to,
you're a
to
stalwart
your
general,
situation.
people should know that. That's a big deal.
Yeah, but then you got this big prominent role, and you know it's going to be a problem.
Well, I feel like those two things, like I don't know if you should be able to hold both of those. Like I don't think you could be a stalwart general and a governor general. That's too many generals.
Why you went there? That's
No,
that's
saying-
not what we're talking about. We're talking
I'm-
about people
I'm
who
spec-
actually working.
That's
no,
the governor
that's-
general isn't working.
You know that's not the same type thing here.
Oh, I
We're
know.
talking about in the
Oh, I
public
know.
service who have jobs that can influence how things
I
go.
hear what you're
That's a
saying.
totally different thing. But too many people know everybody's business here. And it's crazy. It's crazy. Let's see what you have to say, though.
I don't know if knowledge is the issue with that.
Information. Good morning, caller. You're on the air. Are you there? Kept you holding too long. 323-6232. 325-4316. 325-4259. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us. What should be happening here? That's what we want to find out from you. 323-6232. 325-4316. And we still think that line might be challenged, yeah? and 325-4259. So, okay, don't call 325-4316. This is day 3 BTC. Day 3 BTC. Day 3. We've said it on the air. Please, for God's sake, come and help us with that line. Day 3. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning, Dwight.
Hi.
Good morning, Stephen.
Morning.
You see, Dwight, like I keep saying something like that. They get father hates me, and I know I ain't scared of nobody. Until the most school get out of the way, this country never will move forward. You see, and for years I said the commission of police should be voting from the people like us. So when they do, I'm the front of the central bank, because it looks like we got people who in these government ministries, these people, they look like they hate us.
The governor of the central bank? Yeah?
Yeah, John, because he allowed these foreign banks to do what kind of funds to us. They can't do their own country.
Well, as people will tell you, the Bahamian banks will do the same foolishness, so it's all the banks. But okay, but you're looking for trouble if you want the governor of the central bank to vote in.
Get rid of all of them. We need to get rid of all of them one time. They don't. Okay, everything they do in this country is not for us, It's to destroy the blame, the overtaxes. So, I paid for my thing from I owe what and NIB, and I can't get my business license and my TCC. Now, if I say I have a small business person like me, that's not right. You cannot run a country like this. I got a first thing this morning. I want to talk to the manager. I don't want to talk to no local people. That's why the people get frustrated. And that's why, Dwight, listen to me. See, this country, I just be on the ground every day. This country is at the war, the civil war,
I really need you to stop saying this, right? Because it's not true. And also, we don't want to encourage any foolishness.
Which part?
He keeps talking about civil war. It's really, really reckless and crazy. And the people, if only they were that passionate about the country. But no, that's not. And we don't have to talk like that. We can fix things here. We can. We just have to, and this is what we're talking about. If we just let this go, will it happen again next month? Or does something concrete need to come out of this? He's saying these things. There's been no response except from the public. What should happen here? Everyone's saying, "Oh well,
it would
enjoy your retirement."
It would be up to the force. I feel would have to recommend some stuff. I'm just saying, like they would have to recommend some stuff.
What? Recommend what? That the politicians stop interfering with us?
I mean, and as to how, in terms of the structure, of
and who's going to listen to them?
Well, who else they can listen to?
Who's going to listen to them when they present the document on why we think you should leave us alone?
The same people who will also listen to us in quotation marks.
Oh, okay.
I'm saying if you ain't gonna listen to the commissioner, then why are you gonna listen to me?
They don't listen to the commissioner. That's what
Paul
Roll is saying.
Right, but I'm saying, so why would you listen to me?
No, because you get to determine whether they will be there.
I have
a few days.
Just as much vote.
The same thing you're saying
that
we need to vote for the commissioner is because you're hoping to influence certain things, and those people are influenced by what the public says. And again, if every time they see you and hear you, it's about what you're doing about the force. You saw what happened. That can't happen again. Or
that's why they stuck people.
That's why they do duck people.
No, I mean, because then it's like it's only if you see somebody, you only could scream one thing at them. And there are like 400 different issues inside the country.
Yeah.
So it's like, there is a person who probably screams what you're doing about the force every time they see them.
Or the other things, yes.
But I'm saying, but
they don't want to see them.
Right, and it's not going to be in concert. So I feel like the same way where you have unions and they have an association and there's a block for a reason, right? The same way where teachers air their grievances and we know what teachers are concerned about. The same way where we know what the doctors and nurses are concerned about. This is what the force needs to say, hey, in terms of promotion, we feel like this shouldn't be interfered with. In terms of
and you see how long it takes for those others to get resolved. But I guarantee
it never gets
if
resolved.
The public were to say, right, when they hear teachers complaining, the people say, Belinda Wilson need to be quiet. They don't say we agree, and we're going to help march with the teachers, or we're going to stand. We're not going to send our kids to school today, or we're going to school with the kids today. That might be better. Please. We will go to school with the kids today because we are standing in solidarity with the teachers.
No.
That would show more that you were serious about it, but that's not going to happen here.
You're correct. That would show, but as you know, that most persons who complain about the teachers' union,
you're proving my point.
No. I'm agreeing with you.
Yes.
Yes, that most of the people who complain about it, the issue is you guys need to do y'all job so that we could not have our children home. That's literally what it is.
Right. So this is
And
why
the thing is, and so
the politicians don't pay attention
No,
to
but the
us.
thing is, the politicians they're doing exactly what will get them by, which is sometimes teachers are used as babysitters. Right?
Okay, don't go straight now from the,
No, but I'm
the
saying-
point that we're making here.
but I'm saying the whole
because
point is-
we are only talking and not acting in a non-violent way, folks. The politicians aren't taking us seriously,
I hear what you're saying.
and they think they can just throw some money at you and you'll be quiet.
Right. Don't get me wrong.
And nothing will get fixed.
I'm not suggesting that the public doesn't join in the outcry, but I also feel as though both the public and the individuals who will be directly impacted by it must be speaking with the same voice. I think the issue with the teachers is that only the teachers are saying, hey, we need X, Y, and Z,
Yeah.
and not the public.
and all the other groups that
But
you mentioned.
in reverse, right? You can't just have only the commissioner and the public saying, hey, this is happening inside the police force and nobody else. Right? The police force needs to say, as a association, as a union, as a block, say, hey, not that we're suggesting that there's been any specific instance of this,
Yeah.
but we feel like going forward, in order to avoid even the appearance of this, these steps should be put in place. And then the public could say, oh, yes, we agree with that. Also, put cameras in every police station, turn on all the body cams so that nobody suspects the police are killing people.
And so far, that's not what we're hearing. So far, it's been Minis Dem lousy, eh? And that,
People
that's
always say that.
Right, but that's all we're hearing.
They did it with everybody. They did it to the former Prime Minister Perry Christie
Yes,
before.
but this won't get any movement because, right, the current administration probably is quite happy that this is happening. Like, well, look at them. Look what they did. They were terrible, yes, and now they're gone. So, hey, making us look good. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Hey, good morning, Dwight and Steven.
Hi.
Good morning.
Yeah, man. The system, Dwight, is our problem because the Prime Minister, no matter who he is, he is a human, right? And because of him being a human, and he has the power to cause there to be a commissioner and put chairmen and appoint senators and appoint ambassadors, and right, because he has such a power, right? That, in my view, lies would cause there to breed corruption, right? Because everybody has to answer to this one man, whether we accept it or not. Because if there's a situation where a prime minister don't agree in matters where people were appointed, right, by him, then that's a disappointment, right? Because this country, we need a different system of governance in this country in order for us to get any different movements, because the commissioner of police, he has to answer to the prime minister, or the minister of national security, just like the teachers or the principals, they have to answer. I mean, to cut a long story short, all of these heads who these people have to answer to, they are elected heads, right? And they get to decide what happens in the system, right?
Okay. Yep.
So have a nice
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. All right, let's read some of your messages this morning. This person says here, I don't think we'll get a response from Dr. Minnis or Mr. Dames because Paul Rowe said he has more to say. And remember, it was him who was in charge of the investigation with Shane Gibson, those. Okay. This person says, I wish to never hear from Minnis again. In fact, if I could undergo that eternal sunshine of the spotless mind procedure, I'd get it without even reading the brochure.
Yeah, you probably vote for him again.
You're right.
Some things you cannot.
Never forget.
Some things you are not supposed to forget.
Right.
It's like, 'cause you always, anyway, never mind.
This one says, I'm not sure why the commissioner is spilling his guts Is it now to gain favor of the present government? On many occasions, reporters put questions to him about the government pulling the strings. He strongly denied it. So it's too late now. He should have made a difference and stand up for what was right and speak out. That would have set the precedents for all incoming. As for the previous government, what can they say now? They will only deny it and then would be back and forth, and there would be a back and forth. Now, everyone knows that this upcoming appointment is political, so I pray that the government takes a new stance and keeps out of the day-to-day operation of the police force. Okay. I guess this is in relation to the two murders we had overnight. This person saying every other crime is punished except murders. Well, I don't know if that is definitely not accurate, but okay. Maybe not in the way we'd like to see. But they go on to say the process is arrest, charge, arraignment, remand, bail, and repeat. Victims are executing justice that the state seems unable to execute. There's no certainty that murders would be punished. Ever since the Privy Council ruled on the worst of the worst, legislators have gone mum. We emotionalize the punishment of murderers too much.
Emotionalize? What do you mean?
I don't.
We feel sorry for them because they're human beings.
Not getting that last part there. Okay. This one says here, I believe the commissioner is speaking out as a part of his new deal with the government. Oh, boy. Okay. Yeah?
Listen, you can't. Here's the thing: you can't win. It is all a matter of how much you lose. And that's the only thing that you can manage. Nobody makes it out of life alive. You cannot win. Existence is suffering. The only thing you can do is manage pain.
On this first day of July.
It is Pride Day.
Yes, indeed.
Are you gonna be playing the national anthem at 9:00? That's when all the
what they
flag
said.
raising
That's what we
ceremonies
did say that,
happening.
right? Oh, boy. We'll have to.
I have
We'll have to see about that one.
And I have a hard.
We can talk about that off here. But it is National Pride Day. If you're still getting dressed, hey, look for that anything blue or turquoise or aquamarine. If you
Don't be like Dwight.
aquamarine.
Wear the national colors.
That's
mustard.
close enough. It's gold. It's gold.
Is it gold?
It's gold.
Don't
It's
like
not
gold.
mustard. What type of mustard?
It
do you
doesn't
use?
even match the brown, the bands in your hat.
Well, that's yellow. That's wrong.
And the Bahamian flag in your hand.
Those are that one's right. The colors are off, but this is close as close as the flag is you should get.
He looks like a smear of not even this is like brown mustard.
You're just jealous. What are you wearing?
Black.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
Can't miss. Can't miss.
Anyway, wear your flag colors today, folks. It's National Pride. We're kicking off the 49th Independence Anniversary celebrations, and as we talked about earlier in the week, there's a whole bunch of events planned for the week. I think they even added some events, right? There was a new list that came out. It was a much longer one than this one. So almost every day there's something big happening, and we're looking forward to that.
And it will continue until you learn your lesson.
Okay, but this will likely continue into the 50th, it seems, and there's nothing wrong with that.
You should be
nothing
so
wrong with that at all. Okay, we're going to take a break. When we come back, I think we should get into this, Stephen. This last week we were talking about this quite a bit, national sport, and in response to that, we got this very long letter. I think we should read this. And there was another wonderful text we got after we had the discussion about the under 12, 14. The girls' basketball team that got obliterated.
Did they?
Obliterated.
Or did you
100 points.
Change
I didn't do a thing.
the metrics?
I was hoping that somebody did.
the unit of measurement?
But people say we're being mean. So,
That's
but
the
anyway,
decimal
we
point.
got a great text about that. And I didn't get a chance to read it. I want to read that as well when we come back. So a lot more to talk about on this Friday morning. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Again, National Pride Day. Get your flag colors out.
When you hear them beating that drum and calypso, there's a party going on. You can do till the break of dawn. Sweet music, man, it makes everyone lose control. Everybody, here we go, here we go. It's better in the bomb. Everybody, here we go, here we go. Yeah, we got it going on. Everybody, here we go, here we go. It's better in the bomb, and we got it going on. One night till the break of dawn. If you from the 242.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9, Nassau, Bahamas.
This is AP News. I'm Rita Foley. Whether you're flying or driving this July 4th holiday weekend, there are plenty of travel challenges. Experts say airlines may not have enough planes and flights to carry what may be a record number of pandemic-era travelers, especially if there are cancellations due to weather, pilot shortages, or other problems. The AP's Charles de Ledesma is overseas.
Flights from Charles de Gaulle Airport in Paris face disruptions as airport workers hold protests to demand salary hikes to keep up with inflation. The Labour action is the latest trouble to hit global airports this summer as travel resurges after 2 years of COVID-19. However, a full recovery could last as long as the pandemic itself.
What if you're driving for the holiday? The price of gas is high, though it's been coming down. It's $4.84 a gallon this morning, says the AAA. Gunfire outside a neighborhood grocery store in Newark, New Jersey last night. 9 people wounded. Police are searching for a vehicle believed to have been involved. Safety official Raul Malave.
5 of the shooting victims were able to get themselves to area hospital on their own. Out of those 5, one of them was a juvenile, 17 years old. All of those victims are in stable condition. EMS also responded to the scene and treated and transported an additional 4 other victims. Again, they're at University Hospital, and they are in a stable condition as well.
The Kremlin's denying that politics is involved in the decision to prosecute American basketball star Brittany Griner on drug charges. She appeared in a Moscow area courtroom this morning on cannabis possession charges. In Ukraine, at least 19 people killed in Russian missile attacks on residential buildings near the port city of Odessa, say the Ukrainians. This is AP News. It's been a tough 6 months for your financial retirement plan.
Thursday's closing bell on Wall Street brought the curtain down on trading for the first half of 2022, with markets in the red across the board. The S&P 500, the benchmark for many stock funds, is down 21.1% from its January 3rd all-time high and off its worst start to a year since 1970. The Dow Jones Average and Nasdaq Composite are also in the red for the year. Bonds, normally considered reliable investments, are also down and on pace to one of their worst performances in history. Cryptocurrencies have also cratered. Bitcoin, which was at almost $69,000 in November, slumped to below $20,000 this month. I'm Mike Rosia.
Starting today, the 3 major credit reporting companies will stop counting paid medical debt on the reports used to judge credit worthiness. Good news for many with medical debt on their credit reports. I'm Rita Foley, AP News.
Time for your first look at traffic for this morning, brought to you by RBC. For all of life's moments, there's one Visa Classic credit card. A reminder about Village Road, avoid the area as work continues there. In your real-time traffic, not looking too bad so far this morning. We've got Milo Butler Highway as usual. About midway between Fire Trail and Tawny Gloom Starling Highway, we'll see that long line in front of you, but it's moving. It's manageable. Let's put it that way this morning. Gladstone Road, the closer you get to JFK, near Munnings Road, you'll see that line in front of you heading northbound. And then Blue Hill Road as you get closer to the roundabout with Independence Drive. You'll see that as well, just north of Soldier Road. We've got some building traffic on Carmichael eastbound to Blue Hill Road and building westbound to Coral Harbor Road. Elsewhere, on Eastern Road near Village Road and Shirley Street, as there are some detours there, you're going to be seeing some building traffic there. And Marathon Road northbound to Wolf Road, looking a little bit busy at this hour. That's what we're seeing. That's your real-time traffic and your morning blend traffic alert, brought to you by RBC. Experience cashless purchasing power and chip and pin security with your RBC Visa Classic credit card. Manage your day-to-day expenses and apply today at rbc.com/Caribbean/Visa Classic. And time for another check of your weather for today, brought to you by BTC. We've got high pressure that continues to build across the area, generating gentle to fresh breezes, and there's a risk of rip currents along East Coast beaches in the central and southeast Bahamas. For all day, we're looking at breezy conditions in the central and southeast Bahamas, partly sunny with isolated showers and thunderstorms that will continue with passing showers or thunderstorms isolated tonight across all areas. Small craft caution remains in effect. Temperatures today getting up to around 90 Fahrenheit, 32 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight getting down to 77 Fahrenheit, 25 Celsius. In the tropics, we're watching potential tropical cyclone 2 over the southwestern Caribbean Sea now. Still has about a 90% chance of tropical cyclone development. Then the two other areas, an area of low pressure near the southern coast of Texas, and a tropical wave several hundred miles east of the Windward Islands. That one is diminishing and may just be a rainmaker for some of the eastern Caribbean islands. But that's what we are seeing. That's your morning blend weather check, brought to you by BTC. Switch to BT. 2 months of free internet for new customers. Pay for the first month and get the second and third months free. Get the speed you need and great savings on the Bahamas' best network. BTC's fiber network. You can browse the web, enjoy social media, and stream your favorite HD videos. Visit a BTC store or call 225-5282 to sign up today. Conditions apply.
Are you an attorney with a joint practice operating from one location? Accepting payments from clients doesn't have to be complicated.
Introducing RBC MultiPay. Now each attorney can securely accept and settle payments with one point-of-sale device supporting multiple bank accounts.
With competitive pricing, training, and easy setup, you will be up and running in no time.
Call 356-8500 to sign up for
RBC
MultiPay.
Breakfast just got better at Wendy's. Introducing the Breakfast Piggy Bag. Enjoy a double sausage muffin with 2 square sausage patties, a freshly cracked egg, and cheese served on a toasted English muffin, a medium waffle fries, and an orange juice for only $5.25, VAT inclusive. Add an apple pie for just $1 more.
Say what?
At Wendy's, better breakfast is all day. Offers valid in participating locations. Wendy's, different inside and out.
You're always on the go. We know life can be a daily rush. CIBC, First Caribbean, you can count on us. We make life easier. Manage your accounts at any time. Apply for a loan. It's easy when you bank online. We make life easier with choices that suit you. CIBC, First Caribbean.
Create memories and experience moments with the love of your life that will last a lifetime right in our backyard. Escape the hustle and bustle of Nassau with your special someone for an intimate islands getaway. You can get lost in the magic of an island sunrise or count the stars in the night sky. In the Family Islands, disconnect from the world and reconnect with the one that means the most. Now is the perfect time with our 2 fly-free Bahamas Residence special. Go to bahamasresidence.com for more info.
I used to think of the bank as my personal ATM machine. If I wanted a new car, new furniture, a weekend trip to Miami, no problem, just max out the credit card or top up my loan. I was a big baller until I realized that 75% of my salary was going to pay back all those loans. Fidelity's personal financial coaching was the best solution. Fidelity gave me a plan with a debt consolidation loan that has a built-in savings that pays 5% interest. I now only have one low monthly payment, plus money in my pocket. Give Fidelity Bank a call at 356-7764 in Nassau or 352-6676 in Freeport. Visit any of Fidelity's locations or visit a website at fidelitygroup.com.
Whether you're battling a chronic condition or offsetting a new injury, Doctors Hospital's comprehensive rehab services offer the help you need now. 3 advanced facilities at Collins Avenue, Carmichael Road, in Cable Beach means your personalized plan for care is just a visit away. From physiotherapy to occupational therapy and speech and language pathology, our team approach is all about rebuilding together. For a full list of services, visit doctorshosp.com/rehabilitation. Doctors Hospital, trusted and best care now. Isn't your health worth it?
$35,000? What would you do with your share of $35,000?
Just spend $250 or more on any Scotiabank credit card
between March 15th and June 30th
for a chance to win your share of $35,000. The more you spend, the more chances you get to win.
There will be 3 winners of $10,000 each and 5 winners of $1,000. It's so easy to enter. Don't miss your opportunity to win.
So what would you do?
Visit bs.scotiabank.com to learn more about how you can win.
That's right, boys and girls. Get ready to play basketball at the 34th Annual Jeff Rogers Basketball Camp, July 4th through July 29th at the Kendall J. Isaacs Gym, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. daily. So parents, get your boys and girls ages 5 through 18 registered now. Applications available at the South Bahamas Conference of Seventh-day Adventists, Tonic Williams Darling Highway, and at the registration desk at Campsite Kendall J. Isaacs Gym. Specialists by NBA players, legends, and coaches. So get your boys and girls registered now, ages 5 through 18, for the 34th Annual Jeff Rogers Basketball Camp, July 4th through July 29th.
Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Street, has those hard-to-find fasteners for you right now. You can find stainless steel regular hex, carriage bolts, galvanized bolts, threaded rods, nails, self-tap screws, sex bolts, anchor bolts, turnbuckles, masonry tools, hand tools, and weed whacker strings. Check out the rope selection and car body fasteners too. Special orders are welcome. It's your #1 fastener store. Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Streets. Call 326-1976.
You're always on the go. We know life can be a daily rush. CIBC, First Caribbean, You can count on us. We make life easier. Manage your accounts at any time. Apply for a loan. It's easy when you bank online. We make life easier with choices that suit you. CIBC, First Caribbean.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
So I'm flying back to the island, so let's go. When you're heading big, that drum and calypso. Na na na, there's a party going on. Talk on no till the break of dawn. Sweet music, man, it makes everyone lose control. Everybody, here we go, here we go.
We are back here with Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strachan, along with Stephen Hanna, and we have a special guest, a surprise guest. And this is an historic occasion for us because normally we only talk to her on Zoom because she's always in Grand Bahama for some reason.
And they have better internet. Well, except for Tate. Tate's internet's horrible.
But he's here now. That's why it sounds like that.
No, that's
but it was
probably
bad
better.
then too.
It was horrible.
But for the books who don't know the job, the eye opener host Tate Adderley. But our guest, were you a guest? No.
No.
I mean, Laverne has left Freeport and is in Nassau.
This is literally a layover. Don't say
Yeah,
it like that. 'Cause
yeah,
people
you
in
know,
Freeport will be like, don't come back
she's
here.
left? Laverne has left Grand Bahama? Never. But yes, I am in New Providence today.
Wow, welcome.
Just for the day.
It is so good to see you in person.
Taking them any Dunkin' Donuts back, or what they
Isn't that the rule? That whenever
one.
you
I know
you visit Nassau, when you're leaving, you got to stop to Dunkin' Donuts and take back donuts.
The rule actually is KFC, but y'all have your own KFC.
Right, we
and
have
y'all think y'all better than
KFC,
us.
and of
And
course our
chicken
KFC
better.
is 150% better than here.
Oh, is
So
that right?
we're not going to take KFC back. But if you live on the other family islands, then you take back KFC.
Apparently you take anything.
You take back KFC.
No, it's three things you could take back, and this is the order of appearance. It's Dunkin' Donuts is top,
Yeah.
then KFC,
Yes.
and then Pizza Hut.
Oh, okay.
Like you can take back Pizza.
I'm trying to think.
It could be
Most of
Domino's as
these
well.
advertise on our station. You shouldn't be giving them any play. But that's fine. They're good.
But
good
I
sponsors.
definitely know about the KFC because, like, even if people are visiting from other family islands in Grand Bahama,
Yeah.
when they're going back, they have KFC.
Yeah, that's why the planes smell like that. But yeah, Laverne, it's so good. We haven't
it's good
had
to
you
be
in the
here.
studio on Morning Blend ever before in
ever.
all these years.
That's right.
And I haven't seen
So
you
this
since I
is
did
my
a show
first
in
time.
Grand Bahama
That's
a few
right.
years ago. Wow.
We apologize.
No, I've seen her on Zoom.
That's it.
But that's about it. It's crazy how we're living. But we got to do this more often.
Absolutely, I agree.
Is-
So,
She
so
says
you're
to
saying
go to-
next month you're coming?
Yeah.
I would
Grand
say you
Bahama?
come here. But I want to go to Grand Bahama. I
You
want to
know,
go to
I
Grand
told you before, all you have to do is provide coffee and breakfast, and I'm here. I'm easy.
And look at you. Our guest brought us tea. She brought
Well,
us.
I didn't, if I knew everybody was a coffee
No,
drinker,
but
we'd
I don't
have
think
3
he is.
coffees.
You don't drink coffee, or you started now.
I do not drink coffee I don't drink coffee like how you guys drink it casually. I need just espresso.
Okay, like you just need
black,
a shot,
bitter.
right.
I need it to be as horrible tasting as possible. I don't all this whole I want my coffee I want to taste the Arabica and the cats and all that different stuff. I'm not all that.
Did you say cats?
Yeah.
Okay, well, this coffee that I got does not have any cats in it. I told them to hold the cat.
And nor coffee.
Yeah.
Because it's tea. But right. But
Well,
with
no,
that,
you guys have tea.
oh,
I
you
have
did bring coffee.
Yeah, for
oh,
her.
Yeah. Wow.
I didn't
but
know.
she didn't know
I didn't
that
know.
I
I couldn't remember if you
guzzled
were a
it down,
coffee
yes.
drinker. And honestly,
Multiple.
I was standing up in there and I was like, is Stephen a coffee drinker or a tea drinker? Like,
The hibiscus tea is
literally.
probably for the
And
best.
then I was like, you know what? Stephen strikes me a tea drinker.
More so than coffee. Yeah.
So I was like,
He does give off
and
tea,
then I was
tea
like,
vibes.
I know like Dwight is really trying to be healthy. So has he cut out coffee?
No,
well, let me
never
err
gonna
on the
happen.
side of caution and get him a
Drinking
tea.
more than ever before.
He drinks diet vodka.
But I'm like, I just can't get regular tea. I gotta get like
Something fancy.
Yeah.
So this is
Whatever
what
you're
now?
fancy.
This is
You have chai.
Yeah,
Okay.
That's
Yeah,
coffee adjacent.
you have chai.
That's
and
that's
Stephen
not
has
bad
hibiscus.
actually.
Are you going to be in Grand Bahama on the 21st? Then that is when regatta is happening for Grand Bahama.
Oh,
Right.
Maybe we should work something out.
You need to work something out.
Okay, we'll work on that.
Get you on a boat. I could. Okay.
Right.
You mean like a regatta boat? Type
Yeah.
thing?
Yeah, and you could go live.
I mean, if that's something you'd be interested in.
Doing the show on the boat?
I don't know if you do the whole show. You could do a piece of it.
But Laverne has to go with me. If
She'll be on the dock. She has to have somebody on the
I'm
dock.
gonna wave you in.
Right.
Right. I'm gonna be on the dock, and you're gonna be out on the water, right up front with the action.
I know some people.
We'll work it out. And if you want to sponsor these shows, give our sales team a call.
I love
We'd
that.
be there for the whole week. We'll try that. Let's try that. But yeah, that's a good time to go. All right. And Stephen, so you're going to be there too?
July 21st.
Yeah, that week? All right, so we'll have a good number of the team members there. We can work it out.
Let's
Yeah?
make it a whole thing. Why don't we just bring everyone that co-hosts every day?
Yeah.
Chester
Okay.
would love that.
We'll see what we can do. We'll see what we can do. Let's take these calls, and then I do want. Did you see this? Because we talked about it last week, Thursday too, and then the next day, Steve and I talked more about it, about the national sport, and we got this long letter. I want to read that on the air, but let's take these calls. Good morning, caller. Are you there? Are you there? Did we lose you? We've been rambling on. And they just left us there. But anyway, okay, so people are saying, yay, Laverne. Yay,
hi.
And a potential sponsor.
Oh,
Okay.
great.
All right. Someone's saying, oh, coffee is unhealthy. What?
Oh, what?
But they say it's really good too.
Everything
It is unhealthy?
But they say, every time there's one that says
Okay.
it's unhealthy, one
This
says
is like my last cup for today, since it's unhealthy.
for today. All right. But what I've been doing, and this is shortening my life. So in the mornings, I'll drink tea. But after the show, immediately, tons of coffee. Does that make any sense?
I guess you're trying to stay awake.
You know what? We can make it make sense,
Yeah.
right? So you have the tea, and then
Yeah. It's just
and
for
so that's
my
great.
voice
So the tea
and-
went down first.
Yeah,
and
I mean,
it was
it's
great.
kind of soothing for my voice. And,
Right.
yeah, and then afterward, but I have to.
But how
and-
do you drink your coffee? Just black?
Black, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm sure we can find studies to show.
Find studies for anything.
Yeah. Right. So we can find
No, they
studies
say
that
it's quite
says
good for you.
consuming X amount of ounces of black coffee is a good thing.
There are more studies that say that than they say if you start adding things to it, then
Then
that's
it-
where the problems come.
Right. So
Yeah.
you're good.
Okay.
We'll go with that.
Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Yeah, good morning, Dwight. How you doing?
Doing well.
Man, I'm highly disappointed this morning in Royal Bank, and I really need your help. I hear you. Your commercials are so well with Royal Bank.
Oh, boy.
I misplaced my credit card for 2 days, Dwight, and I can't get no emergency numbers to answer. I can't get on a regular day for them to answer. As a matter of fact, I've been trying to reach Royal Bank for months, and I can't get no answers in this country for Royal Bank. I called Jamaica. I called Canada. No answers, man.
I don't know what's
Can you
happening.
please ask Royal Bank to put a number on that answers?
Okay. Well, I can give you a number. Try this. They
That
do
3-2
answer.
card. 3-2 card don't work.
But try. I don't know if it's the same one, but you have to be patient though, and we really shouldn't be doing this on the air. But anyway, 326-2273. Somebody will answer. 326-2273. You just got to be very
That card,
patient.
326 card, that doesn't answer.
boy. Oh, boy.
Everything goes back to a main recording, and they put you on hold for years. Royal Bank
but-
do not answer their
Okay,
phone.
all right, but you got to keep trying. Don't give up, and but hopefully they're listening and they will try to reach out to you.
Yes,
Stay on the
man.
line and let's get your name and number, and we'll pass it
Yes,
along.
yes, please, Dwight.
Boy. And here's another one. Someone just texted in 356-8500. They say they.
That's the waste one.
Oh boy! All right, stay on the line and let's give us your name and number, and I'll see if I can get some messages to somebody.
Okay.
All right. Did I cut him off? I think I did. Call back, and the producer will get your name and number. that's just not the right way to deal with the stuff there. But anyway, okay, let's take a break. When we come back, we're going to read this letter that we got. Paul Thompson, you know Paul Thompson, the wonderful former member of the Royal Bahamas Police Force. He sent us a letter about cricket, and we got a great text about basketball. And we're going to get to those after the break before we talk about Goombay Summer Festival. Stay with us. Welcome back to Morning Blend here on Guardian Radio 96.9. We are streaming live on GuardianTalkRadio.com and on the Guardian Radio app for your smart devices. We're also on your televisions on Cable Bahamas Channel 969 and BTC Flow Channel 612. You can tweet us at MorningBlend969 or Facebook.com/MorningBlend969. Text us on the Guardian Radio text line powered by BTC 422-4796. Remember, standard text rates apply. And now at 8:19, time for another check of your weather for today. Brought to you by Bahamas First Insurance. Here is what's happening with your weather. We're entering a drier phase compared to what we saw earlier in the weekend, last weekend, and we're expecting some Saharan dust to impact us as well, but that is going to mean drier conditions over the next few days at least, and so that means that if you have respiratory issues, you might want to keep that in mind if you're going to be outdoors this weekend. But high pressure is going to build as well, and we're going to see an increase in gentle to fresh breezes. There's also a risk of rip currents along East Coast beaches in the central and southeastern Bahamas. Today, we're looking at partly sunny and hot conditions with isolated showers or thunderstorms, especially breezy in the central and southeastern islands. Tonight, variably cloudy and warm with a few isolated showers or thunderstorms. Small craft caution in effect for the central and southeast Bahamas. Highs getting up to around 90 Fahrenheit, 32 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight getting down about 77 Fahrenheit, 25 Celsius. In the tropics, we are watching a few areas. We've got an area of low pressure near the southern coast of Texas. We've got a tropical wave that is greatly diminishing, and that is just east of the Windward Islands. And we still have potential tropical cyclone 2. It is just on the verge of becoming Tropical Storm Bonnie. As of 5 o'clock this morning, it was about 315 miles east of Bluefields, Nicaragua. Potential Tropical Cyclone 2 moving toward the west at 18 miles per hour. On the forecast track, the system will move across Nicaragua or northern Costa Rica tonight and emerge over the eastern Pacific on Saturday. Maximum sustained winds are near 40 miles per hour. Strengthening is forecast while the system approaches the coast of Central America. Again, none of these systems going to be an issue for us in the Bahamas, but we will keep you posted on them. That's your Morning Blend weather check, brought to you by Bahamas First Insurance, still the first and only local insurance company and agency network that lets you buy car and home insurance 100% online. Try it at bahamasfirst.com. Time for another check of traffic for this morning, brought to you by RBC. For all of life's moments, there's one Visa Classic credit card In your real-time traffic, we've got Eastern Road seeing some heavy traffic from just west of Fox Hill Road up to Montague. And remember, Village Road is going to be an issue for you. And if you can, you might want to avoid Village Road as work continues there. And there are closures, especially between Shirley and Eastern Road. So keep that in mind. Elsewhere, we are seeing some traffic on Marathon northbound to the roundabout with Wolf Road, and Soldier northbound to the intersection with Village, Wolf, and Bernard Road. Heavy traffic at a long line at least, at East-West Highway and Robinson and Marathon at the intersection there. And then Blue Hill Road at a couple of spots just north of Soldier as you approach the roundabout with Independence Drive, and then further up as you approach Cordo Avenue. Heavy traffic there on your way up there, at least passing by Coconut Grove. Elsewhere, we've got Mileborough Highway, the usual long line of traffic from Fire Trail up to Tawny Williams Darling Highway, and some building traffic on Gladstone Road from well south of Munnings Road now, northbound to JFK Drive. Those are your hot spots this morning. That's your real-time traffic and your morning blend traffic alert brought to you by RBC. Experience cashless purchasing power and chip and pin security with your RBC Visa Classic credit card. Manage your day-to-day expenses and apply today at rbc.com/Caribbean/Visa Classic.
Hair born and bred. I don't want to live nowhere else, even when I dead. I's a Bahamian, and I always late. If you want me there by 9, better tell me come 8. See, I's a Bahamian, and I don't like say nobody gonna spend my money when I go to my grave. Yes, I's a Bahamian, don't want make no fuss. But if you we know, but outside tell them you ain't one of us. Like Andrews grab and go.
We're back here with Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strachan. Stephen had to go. He has to go to work, apparently. But we hope he has a great day. But I'm not alone. I've got a special guest with me this morning, all the way from Grand Bahama. Laverne has come to the studio for the first time ever. Well, as a Morning Blend co-host. She's been here as a guest on another show.
But that was so long
That was
ago.
a long time
we can
ago.
really just say
Just
the
for-
first.
Just
Yeah.
the first time.
Yes.
After all these years.
After all these years.
No Zoom today.
No Zoom today. I have one question, though.
Mhm.
This was like a maze coming up here. I'm like, are we ever going to... They've got you way in the back door.
For security purposes.
Okay.
But
We'll go with that.
Yeah. Did you drive here, or because you don't seem to, when we talk
No.
about traffic issues here, you don't seem to know anything.
No.
Just
I did not
only
drive
Grand
here.
Bahama stuff. Oh,
Right.
boy. Wow. Well, okay. Welcome.
But it's always interesting when I come with the amount of traffic, and then I'm always in the car with someone who knows all these little shortcuts to avoid traffic.
Y'all don't
So
do
to me,
shortcuts
it's
in
like
Grand
an
Bahama?
adventure.
You don't do shortcuts over there?
You've been to Grand Bahama. You think the level of traffic we need to do a shortcut? We're good.
That's true. That is true.
We can stay on the main road. We only take shortcuts when they're doing road checks.
Wow. All right. Anyway, it is wonderful to have you with us in studio this morning. It is National Pride Day, folks. Again, we hope you're wearing your flag colors. Laverne, yeah, she's got the black on. Yeah, that's okay. That's cool.
Oh,
That's
okay.
part of the flag.
Okay, yeah.
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 This is not National Pride Day inspired.
I forgot.
You should tell people that it is.
Okay,
Tell people
I
that it
will.
is. Laverne, do you want to go to lunch? Is that what this person's saying? Look, how Laverne look does she want to go for? Oh, how does Laverne look? Does she want to go to lunch? Is someone asking you out on a date? Do you think Mr. Gardner would be okay with that?
Well, you know, everybody got to eat, right? We all got to eat.
Oh, boy.
Well, you know, I was about to accept it, except it was prefaced by the first question. How does Laverne look?
Oh, yeah.
So if Dwight says I look like a total hag, then does that mean that I'm not going to go to lunch anymore?
Oh, boy. Wow. Well, Texter, I've posted a picture on our Facebook page and Twitter page. If you follow us, you can see.
Gee,
but,
thanks,
but
Dwight.
Laverne's beautiful, Ed.
Thank
But because you asked, I don't think she should go to lunch with you. Right? Yeah.
Yeah, okay,
Right.
we'll go with that.
All right. So, coming up in a few minutes, we're going to be talking about Bahamas Goombay Summer, and that starts today. There are events in Grand Bahama, too, right? Yep. Coming up in a few days.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to find out all about that. And the day that they're going to talk about Grand Bahama, Laverne's in Nassau. Look at that. That's how it works. All right. Before we get to that, though, last week we had a couple discussions about this. Just came up about the national sport. And then earlier in the week, I hope people don't think we were being mean to the team, the girls' basketball team that lost by 100 points to Mexico. Yeah. 119-19. We were just pointing out that there's, something. There's a challenge that needs to be addressed. All right. So in response to these discussions, we got some very interesting.
I think they're playing, before we go into that, aren't they playing today?
No, the men's team is playing.
The men's team?
The men's
you
team.
sure it is? Okay.
I don't know about the girls anymore.
Okay.
Should they do any more?
Someone's playing.
Yeah, the men's team, they're playing.
Someone's playing in the Virgin
tonight.
Islands.
Yes, Virgin Islands, and
Yes.
then here on Monday against the Dominican Republic.
Okay.
So that's going to be at Bahama Convention Center on Monday. So Bahamians, go and support Team Bahamas.
Absolutely.
Right? Monday at 7. You can get details about that and the cost and where to get tickets from in today's Guardian Sports section. So we got to show some support for the Bahamas. And we even talked about that, whether basketball should be the national sport, because we've got more people who seem to have a closer connection to basketball here. It is the sport that Bahamians seem to play all the time, anywhere, everywhere. Almost everybody, especially growing up, has a basketball. You definitely don't have. What do they even use balls in cricket? What is that? What is that thing?
I don't know if it's called a ball.
Wicket and
right. I don't know. So someone can correct us, but I don't think they call it a ball.
Right. But we did get a great note about basketball. We're going to read that in a second. I'm going to try to read this. This was typewritten by Paul Thompson. He was on, a former police officer. He was on the police team. Former cricketer on the police team. So let's see if we can read all of this. This is, I thank Paul Thompson for sending this, Paul Thompson Jr. for sending this to us. All right, so he wrote to us saying, after listening to your morning show on which cricket was a topic, I decided to document information that, with respect, may be educating to you and your hosts about the history, etc., of the game. Cricket is the second largest spectator sport in the world after football or soccer. It is played on all the continents. The International Cricket Council is the world body that promotes and controls the sport. There's Test cricket, in which a match could last 5 days. See, this is why we have issues with this.
One match?
5 days, and there are shorter versions. 1 day, 50 overs. T20 with 20 overs, and the newly introduced T10. It is not presently an Olympic sport, but it is likely to become one. The ICC promotes, like FIFA, promotes world cricket competitions. The Bahamas is a member of the ICC, and the Bahamas Cricket Association receives benefits from the ICC, such as finance, coaching, and trips overseas to participate in World Cup eliminations. The co-chair is now is financed by the ICC. Cricket has been played in the Bahamas since 1883, when it was introduced in Harbour Island and later New Providence. British servicemen and residents were instrumental in the development of the game in New Providence. Bahamians learned quickly, and with West Indians residing here, cricket teams were formed and the Bahamas Cricket Association became a reality. Upon my arrival here in 1952, cricket was a major spectator sport. Traffic jams on East Street near Windsor Park caused by spectators watching the matches played on Fridays and Sundays. The teams represented communities and or religious groups. Example, St. Bernard's Catholic, St. Agnes, the Anglicans, St. George's, East New Providence, Westerns, West NP, and St. Albans, and the Vikings, the upper class group, and the police. There were members of Parliament playing cricket. there was a resolution in Parliament naming it the national sport. President of the BCA was the Honorable A.F. Adderley. Okay. International competition was available once yearly when Mr. Percy Munnings, at his own expense, took a Bahamian team to Jamaica each year. Commonwealth Wanderers Cricket Club, formed in the late 60s, started making annual cricket tours to the USA and Canada each summer. The club was able to finance the tour through donations and fundraising. The Ministry of Tourism used the tours to publicize the Bahamas. On 2 occasions, Miss Bahamas was sent on tour with us. We visited and played in cities all over the USA and Canada. We also entertained teams from those countries, the West Indies, the UK, and Australia. In 1975, Commonwealth Wanderers toured the West Indies, and in 1976, England. The Commonwealth Wanderers team consisted of top players who were Bahamians, West Indians, and British. I managed the team for over 2 decades. When they played cricket, they were all Bahamians. The glory days ended in the 80s when many players relocated and retired from the game. By this time, the BCA had been accepted as a member of the ICC, and cricket tours were made under the auspices of the ICC for World Cup eliminations. Some of the great Bahamian players were Roy Armbrister, Andre Rogers, Fess Ingram, Irving Taylor, Edmund Lewis, the Armstrong brothers, Dr. Francis Adderley, Paul Adderley, Tex Lunn, and many others, too many to mention. In England, droves of coaches attended games to witness Eddie Ford bat. Okay, this is a term here. I don't know his. This is a cricket term. Anyway, in '90, he scored 90 against a professional team in Lancashire, and that brought them out. He also scored 187, not out against a team in London. He could have played professional cricket in the UK, but was not interested. The cricket club at Haynes Oval was built by the BCA with donations from cricket supporters and a loan financed by a Life for Key resident. Cricket has never been a burden to the government. Wow. Now, media support has been lacking. Our teams travel abroad, and there are no reports of their departure or the results of matches. In the past 2 years, the national team has traveled overseas, the latest being Cayman, where 4 matches were played. Many sports reporters are unfamiliar with the language of cricket to write a report. Finally, I see basketball as being the national sport. We have been doing well in the NBA for years. Most of the children in our country play basketball, drive around the island. Where you don't see a court, you're still likely to see hoops. Sloop sailing or sailing in any form, it's not popular with our children. The regattas are welcomed, but the sport is not Olympic or in the World Games. And that's from Paul Thompson Jr., again, a former cricketer, and on the police team from 1951 to 61, a past president of the BCA. And Paul Thompson, thank you so much for that. Quite educational there. And we have a history. Sounds like it was a part of the fiber of the country, but that has definitely changed for better or for worse. So, it still begs the question, do we want it? The public does not have this connection with cricket.
It doesn't. And so
talking about this for years, about changing it.
The national sport.
Again, sailing is romanticized, but who's doing
sailing?
It? Who's doing it?
Right.
Of course, as Stephen pointed out last week, if you make it a national sport, maybe that would drive interest in swimming and sailing. Maybe. Or if it's something that people actually do and play and watch.
And maybe, if we are aware of when they're traveling, where they're going, and we're talking about it, it becomes a part of the conversation. The Bahamas cricket team is traveling to wherever, to Cayman, and they're playing, and then have the results. If we begin to integrate that into our sports roundup, then it becomes more popular.
Maybe. If we teach it in schools, people get it and say,
is it make it a part of the physical education curriculum?
Yeah.
Because you teach them the discipline for softball, basketball, and all the field sports as well as track. So,
Absolutely. Responses to this. Okay, cricket was great, and so were the dinosaurs. Oh, boy. This text here. I detected some attitude when Laverne said we don't need to take shortcuts in Grand Bahama.
I don't know what you were reading. Maybe I didn't say it with the right inflections and tone of my voice. No, I'm just saying because it isn't like we have that kind of the amount of traffic that you have in New Providence.
Yeah.
Grand Bahama doesn't have even a quarter of that. So it's like if you are quote unquote stuck in traffic in Grand Bahama, what? It's a minor inconvenience. Maybe you're on the road 5-10 minutes longer. So, you're not really sitting there going, okay, how can I get out of this traffic?
Yeah.
It's like in about 3 more minutes, you'll be fine.
Yeah. All right. So we got a response from our discussion about the girls' team that lost in with scores that resemble cricket. 119 to 19. So
I don't know if you're the right person to be
boy.
talking about this, Dwight.
No.
I don't know.
Learning experiences, man.
Yeah.
It's, right? That's fine. All right, so this is Kim Roll. You all know Kim Roll, right? The former national team player. She sent us this wonderful text. We didn't get a chance to read it that day, but I want to read it now. She says, Dwight, good morning. I played with the women's national team for 12 years in the 90s and 2000s, and we dominated. It was always who will play the Bahamas in the gold medal game. Wow. Since then, I've watched in particular how women's basketball has dropped badly. There is no one person to blame. If we get beat by 19, then we are maybe 1 or 2 players away. If we get beat by 100, we have a system problem.
Yeah.
We have to be honest and put an infrastructure in place to manage a national program, not teams. This requires tremendous resources, human and capital. And if we don't do it, we will be here talking about the same issue in 10 to 15 years.
Wow.
There's no way we should be able to be competitive. We should not be able to be competitive, but it requires hard decisions, infrastructure, and money. I have so much more to add, but I'll just stop here for now. One more thing, let's get the national facility fixed and make it available for athletic usage. Could the testing not be done as a drive-through at the carnival site? Access to facilities were an issue in 1995. What are we doing?
That's a really
Great
good
text.
text. Yeah.
Great points, Kim Roll. Thank you for
absolutely.
that. Let's quickly take these calls, and then we've got to take a break. If our calls are still there, I know you've been holding on for a while. Good morning, caller. You are on Morning Blend. Are you there? Okay, let's take the other one. Is that the bad line still? Good morning, caller. Are you there?
Sorry, they just started away so long with you on your gas Dwight.
Hi. Good morning.
Can you hear me properly?
Not really.
Hello?
Not really. You might try one of the other lines for us. Try one of the other lines. Okay. This text here says, cricket is not played in schools. It's lost art in the Bahamas. Sailing and swimming are not generally taught in schools, except in a few private ones. Follow the national sports budget. You will find your national sport. It may be track and field. Yeah, and that was proposed last week as well, that either it's basketball or track and field. That's what the two that
those are
people
popular,
seem to be.
those are ones that are pushed, and
kind of popular. People didn't show up for the Nationals last weekend. But,
were
they
people
didn't,
aware?
They didn't.
So can we really fault people for not supporting?
Maybe not.
The first time
Although
I
that
heard
stadium
of it,
has never been full.
Fine. I accept that. But the first
Except
time
for
I
the
heard,
numbers houses when they have.
You know what?
But not
the
for track and field.
The first time I heard of that was when you talked about it, and I'm like, there was an event.
Nationals.
Who knew?
Yeah.
So.
Oh boy.
So we can't, we can't use last week's event attendance as an example because it seemed that it was by invitation only.
Okay. All right. Let's take this call. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Morning, Dwight, and good morning to Nassau. Welcome to Nassau, Laverne.
What, Laverne? Oh, where are your headphones?
sorry.
Oh, what the? See, she's not used to being in the studio. She
not.
wasn't wearing the headphones.
Okay, that's
Wait,
not-
that one's plugged in there. Give her a second. She's still in Grand Bahama in terms of the hearing.
Okay,
There we go.
there we go.
Okay. Say that again, Jeff.
Again, good morning, Dwight, and welcome to Nassau, Laverne.
Thank you so much.
It is so amazing that, those who have frequented Grand Bahama before, I've never seen a congestion of traffic at all in Freeport or the island of Grand Bahama, period. And we have to take under consideration that careful planning came about with Grand Bahama in terms of infrastructure, whereas in Nassau, everything just seems to be hush-posh. And then also to add on top of that, we have the majority of the population here in Nassau.
Right.
And this is why the cry with the hope that infrastructure in the other family islands will be able to really get up to a scale where those who are desiring to go back to their individual islands, once the infrastructure is in place, you can depopulate Nassau and give us that flexibility and freedom with not just the traffic, but with many of the other things that is very in a very hodgepodge situation here in Nassau. So that's something that some of us are really looking forward to. But Dwight, in reference, in relation to one of the subject matters at hand here, and that would be, it's really sad that many things and many events and occasions that the Bahamas has excelled through blood, sweat, and tears of many of those who have gone on before or even still here has seemed to have fallen through the cracks. The excellence that the Bahamas was once really known for, I mean, we still have it, but it seemed to be paling by comparison now. And as JJ always mentions, and I'm going to mention it for this one particular reason, that perhaps something like a national lottery to really add that funding for all of the things that people have been crying for. The PTAs have been crying out for quite some time. Many other organizations have been crying out for quite some time for funding. But we are all depending on, in particular, the private sector, i.e. the hotel and the investors and everything to do this thing. But when are we really going to do this for ourselves? And that is the missing component. Get some of these number houses to really, and I'm not specifically, targeting them, but it's just an example. There's millions of dollars traversing this country. Why is it that we still have our national teams and stuff really going through hoops with balls on the side of the road, begging for money, when we could put these infrastructure in place from a national level to try and get some funding for our people?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Appreciate that. Let's take this call really quickly. We're going to get to these text messages, and then we have to take a break. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Good day again, Dwight.
Hi.
Dwight, this Sahara dust, right? I think what those people need to buck up on when those people are digging up graves looking for gold, because all of that dust come with the Sahara also.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Let's get back to this. This text here says, dinosaurs. Cricket is the second most popular fan sport in the world. The top cricketer in the world earned about $1 million in 2022. His net worth is $50 million off cricket. Money on the ground. Well, I hear you, and this is what we just said, right? So if it is, and hearing what Paul Thompson Jr. said, the way we had this tradition here, why do we lose this? And let's see if we can get it back. If we have, this is some great history. We had some great cricketers here in the Bahamas. Reintroduce it in schools. Reintroduce it in schools. Let's see. Let's see what could happen. Perhaps. This one says here, boy, you petty. Say the Bahamas girls basketball team scores look at cricket. Laverne, if I'd known that you were coming, I would have asked you to bring some Pollo Tropical. And I think I should have remembered to ask you to do that too.
Yeah. Well, the next time. I'm going to give you advance notice, Texter. And so, yeah, sure, no problem.
Oh, this one says
you and Dwight.
Pollo Loco. Is that a thing too?
I don't know.
Okay.
But whatever, I will go to Pollo and I will bring it.
Okay. That's it. That's the deal. And, and they're saying, well, the sailing is going to be it, whether we like it or not. Okay. Well, hey, whatever it is, I don't know if that makes what difference it makes if it's the national sport, but we do need to show our athletes the support that they need. And we need to show up for them, and we need to fund them.
Yes.
We need to be there for them.
Whatever we decide that the national sport is.
Even if it isn't the national sport, right? All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, Goombay, Bahamas Goombay Summer is here, starting today and going through August. We're going to get all the details right after the break. Stay with us. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9.
Eyes of Bohemian, hair and bone and bread. I don't want to live nowhere else, even when I dead. Eyes of Bohemian, and I always late. If you want me there by 9, better tell me come 8. See, eyes of Bohemian.
When faced with an illness like cancer, we band together, and we at Cleveland Clinic in Florida have your back. From advanced cancer treatments to extra safety at all of our locations, we're with you on this journey. For every infusion and follow-up, for every step of the way, for every care in the world. Cleveland Clinic in Florida. Get the care you need when and where you need it. To learn more or connect with a local representative, visit clevelandclinic.org/Caribbean.
At Western Union, we have different sending options for you to use the one that fits you best. You can send money directly to bank accounts around the world, or for cash pickup by visiting our agent locations. Or you can also start your money transfer in our app and then pay cash in store. Look for an agent location near you, or download our app and send money to your loved ones abroad.
When faced with an illness like cancer, we band together, and we at Cleveland Clinic in Florida have your back. From advanced cancer treatments to extra safety measures at all of our locations, we're with you on this journey. For every infusion and follow-up, for every step of the way, for every care in the Cleveland Clinic in Florida. Get the care you need when and where you need it. To learn more or connect with a local representative, visit clevelandclinic.org/Caribbean.
The Cotton Tree on Bernard Road has a deal for you, animal lovers. We are the sole distributor of the affordable Super Can dog and cat food. Mothers, we also distribute Bumble Pampers, the most inexpensive in the Bahamas, plus wipes, powdered and liquid detergents, disinfectants, and the delicious Max Fly energy drink. The Cotton Tree Convenience Store on Bernard Road, Fox Hill, open from 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. daily. Call us at 364-6249 or 805-5679 for more information.
Ready to save? You can put $100 into the CFAL Savings Express Plan and make sure your money keeps growing. Earn interest on your savings while you're sleeping, eating, or standing in line at the bank. Ready to invest by putting $1,000 into our mutual funds and earn interest there too. Because at CFAL, your interest is our interest. Visit CFAL.com to start now. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations of Bahamians.
You know, you should teach a savings class, because you know everything. No, I just choose wisely. Like, I just got 2 months free home internet from BTC. All I did was sign up for internet. 2 months internet free? For real? I bundled my internet and mobile services, and now I'm paying half of what the other guys charge. Plus, as a new customer, I get 2 months internet free. What? Nah, that's a big deal.
Switch to BTC Internet and get the second and third months free for new customers. Conditions apply.
We're good for you. We know how important collecting your money can be to the success of your business. Start your relationship with Fidelity today so that we can show you the many options available to you with our merchant services. From click and pay options online to merchant terminals and e-commerce options. We're here to help your business succeed. For more details, speak to one of our business development officers at 356-7764 in Nassau or 352-6676 in Freeport. Visit our website at fidelitygroup.com or visit any of our branches.
Wherever you're headed, the Custom Computers Know-How team is standing by to help guide you in the East and the West. We now have 2 convenient locations on Patton Street in Palmdale and our newest store in the Caves Village Shopping Plaza through the Blake Road entrance. Discover the latest products by top international brands and the knowledge you need to unleash tomorrow's technology today. Drop by Custom Computers out east or out west. We're open Saturdays from 10 till 4.
Are you an attorney with a joint practice operating from one location? Accepting payments from clients doesn't have to be complicated.
Introducing RBC MultiPay. Now each attorney can securely accept and settle payments with one point-of-sale device supporting multiple bank accounts.
With competitive pricing, training, and easy setup, you will be up and running in no time.
Call 356-8500 to sign up for
RBC
MultiPay.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
Let's go through the Bahamas, have fun with me. Lots to do and lots to see. Many islands to choose. You may fly or take a cruise. I'll take you to Nassau, the capital. Watch a Junkanoo festival. Then to Gad Island, eat flour cake. Watch quadrille dancing to the rake and scrape. Ooh, my Bahamas, the place to be.
We're back here with Morning Blend on National Pride Day. Dwight Strachan, along with Laverne Gardner, who's here in studio in Nassau.
Yes.
For the first time ever.
And I
with
just
me
want to let
in
everyone
studio.
know that I did give Dwight advance warning, and there was no food here for me. I just wanted to point that out.
Advance is like one day. Right?
Yeah, but still, it was sufficient for you to have like breakfast here. Like, where are all of our guests who bring sample foods? How come they're not here today?
Yeah, well, that's unfortunate. Okay. This text here says, good morning, Dwight. I just wanted to say what a pleasure it is to see Laverne in studio this morning. I've been a fan of hers since I was 2.5 years old. What now?
That is so not true. Let me just say,
Wait,
I
you-
know
oh, so
who
you know
that
who this is.
texter is.
Okay.
And let me just say,
this is a family member. It's not a
yeah,
big-
she was not a fan of me. Okay, so let's be honest.
Who's
She
this?
was not a fan of me. That is my older sister, and she was not a fan of me because our personalities were completely opposite. And she could not appreciate all that I brought to the table at my young age.
Okay.
That's my polite way to put it. I
Oh,
was a little
man.
bit too much. My personality was a bit overwhelming for her.
Okay. All right, let's move on. As we've been telling you all morning, Goombay is back. The Bahamas Goombay Summer Festival begins today, actually. And here to tell us all about this, we are very pleased to have folks from all over the Commonwealth. We've got Peter Douglas. He's with the Andros Tourism Office. We've got Levon Cooper, I believe, from the Berry Islands office, and Corinda Roll from the Bimini office. Am I missing anybody? Is that everybody?
I believe that's everyone.
Yes,
today.
representing Grand Bahama, Corinda.
Well, Grand Bahama has a separate platform, but because my DNA is from GBI, I
course.
can.
So you all know each other.
promote it.
Of course I know Corinda.
Hey, Laverne, I appreciated you from you were two. We went to school together.
Yes, you did. You
okay.
did.
All right. Well, there you go.
You appreciated that big personality.
Yes, I
from the
understood
very
it.
beginning.
Well,
And we didn't clash.
No.
Okay, well, there you go. All right. Great to have you all with us. Welcome. Happy National Pride Day. Good morning.
Good morning.
All right, I hope everybody's unmuted. Yeah? You got it?
Yes,
Okay,
morning.
there we go. Okay, so now we talked about it earlier in the week with the Summer Junkanoo Festival people. That's different. That's New Providence only. But Bahamas Goombay Summer, that's for the Family Islands, right?
Yes.
Right. People know Goombay, remember the heyday of Goombay. Are we trying to recreate this? Tell us all about it.
Well, first of all, Goombay is back. When you take a look at what happened throughout the world, the entire world, the pandemic, I know our guests from all over the world normally would fly down to the islands to experience our culture. And that's one of our signature events at the Ministry of Tourism. I wouldn't say we're reinventing it. We're just revitalizing it. Due to the pandemic, we're so happy that we're able to start today on the various islands. They have different scheduling. And we're just here to encourage our domestic travel to the Family Islands so that they can gain the experience or rekindle that fire of Gombe on the various islands.
Yeah, domestic travel, absolutely. That's great. Okay, so what can people expect with the festival? Is there an overall theme, or are we leaving up to the islands to what are we looking at?
Well, go ahead. That's Lavon. Go ahead, Lavon.
Yes. Each island have a little bit. There are similarities, but there are also differences. Differences with regards to exactly what their main feature would be. Each of us will have our individual headliner. For instance, I know for the Berry Island, we have the energetic and charismatic Funky D. And everybody knows him and what he brings to the table whenever he performs.
Oh, yeah.
We are going to have things that, for my island, which would be the Berry Island, things that would capture the local community, and with the makeup of the Berry Island, where they have quite a number of second homeowners or winter residents, as we would like to say. So they will all be encouraging to come out. They would all be sampling food, drinks, partaking in our activities because there is going on. It would be the same across the board for just about all of the islands. Each island is a little different. Corinda, which will be in Bimini, theirs would be a little different. She will speak to what they will be doing. But we have a lot of things for the kids, tug of war, not just for the kids. I must say, it's not for the kids. This event is family friendly. We want to encourage everyone to come out. We're going to have things like tug of war, three-legged race, egg and spoon. And as you well aware, some of us are kids at heart. So we have the hopscotch, marbles, stop spinning, blind me, all these interesting things, jacks, hula hoops, sack race, all of this to encourage all of our younger individuals, plus the young at heart. Like I said, it's all family friendly, and all the activities that is going to be going on. People will be performing. We have a local band, the White Wave Band, an awesome job. We're going to have some bush tea for the Berry Island. We will have crab catching. There will also be offering discounts for individuals, especially the domestic travelers, those here in the Bahamas who want to come. There will be discount for car rentals from Riley Car Rentals. You have the Harbor Inn at the Marina. They'll be have rooms as well. Mr. Roger Pinder from Pinder's Liquor, he also has some units that can be rented. There's some Airbnbs on the island that people can choose from. So there's a number of properties on island for individuals who would like to come. There are things, beautiful beaches, and one of the highlights, I think, for those who would like to come to the Berry Island, I would like them to take an opportunity to go to Hoffman Key. There's so many keys because the Berry Island is made up of 30 keys.
It's amazing.
But one of them, Hoffman Keys, is where you have Chester Darvel, the famous Chester Darvel, where he have his wonderful fruit punch, rum punch. I don't know what he put in it, but it's absolutely delicious. And also his comforters.
Wow.
These are some of the things that he's known for, but of course, you have to go on a boat to get to these keys.
Yeah. And you said it, the beaches in the Berry Islands are really unbelievable.
They are untouched, aren't they? They are untouched. You can leave your footprints in the sand.
Yeah. Quite something. Beautiful. No offense to Bimini and Andros, but Berry Islands, spectacular. You've been, Laverne?
No, I haven't. And so what I think is we're having this Bahamas Gombe Summer Festival, and I think that what should happen is the Ministry of Tourism should, along with Guardian, should partner and have us go so that we can talk about the experience.
I agree entirely.
On every island. There are
Corinda, you sound like a go-getter. You can make this happen, right?
Right.
Yeah.
There are about 12 different islands that you have listed. And so I think that you and I can go, and we will be able to report live.
Yeah.
say what's going on. And, we have such a big following, right? Morning Blend.
Mm-hmm.
People are going to want to meet us at the next island.
Well, yes, absolutely. Coretta, I think
Well,
you can make that happen.
Now people all can
it's
come to the Berry
absolutely
Island then, July
Right,
30th.
right.
It
And that's what I'm
sounds
saying,
possible.
July 30th.
Okay. At least
Yeah.
one.
July 30th is in Bimini, and Laverne, you touch on a beautiful point. If we have any sponsors out there that want to get you and the Guardian to Bimini, we can make it happen. There are beautiful things happening here. Bimini is the gateway to the Bahamas, and we're the only one that have the original CBS. So if you want to hold your head or lay low in Bimini on the 30th of July, and Laverne, the Mighty Hawks would be an awesome time for us to get together.
Absolutely.
So there are special rates for our golf carts, special rates for the hotel activities that Lavon spoke to. We will be hosting that as well. But there's a watermelon eating contest, and
boy.
I love fruits, so I'm willing to challenge you, Laverne, to the competition. So, but you need to get here, and you need
Yes.
to bring the crew with you.
Okay.
There's absolutely, Bimini is easy to get to. Easy
So
to get to.
we don't have any excuse. We got to get there. We,
Oh, yes.
like I'm
Yeah,
saying,
you can
there's
come by-
12,
you can
and
come by
Dwight, we got to
Flamingo
make
Air,
at least
Western
8.
Air.
8 of the
Yep,
12.
We have the mail boat that comes there. We have the Freeport boat that comes there. Man, you could get here.
Okay.
And we will make this experience an unforgettable experience at the Gombe Festival in Bimini, July 30th.
Okay. And then Peter Douglas, tell us about Andros. What's going to be happening there?
Good morning and good morning, Bahamas. How are you?
We're doing well. How are things up there?
Things are excellent here in Andros. We're just recuperating from our crab fest, and we're getting ready to welcome the Bahamas and the rest of the islands to Gombe Summer Festival in North and Central Andros. This is going to be the awakening of our domestic tourism season here in the summer. Our Gombe Summer Festival will kick off in North and Central Andros on the second weekend in August 12th and 13th. On August 12th, we will be in Central Andros at the Queen's. Good morning. And good morning, Bahamas.
Okay, we lost you there, but you're back now. Okay, right? So that's Central Andros, August 12th. And what type of activities can we expect? What will be happening there? Do we lose him again?
I think so.
Uh-oh. Okay. All right, so we'll try to reconnect with Peter. Levon.
Yes, hello,
oh, there we go.
back in,
Okay, there we
and,
go.
Sorry, we're getting a lot of feedback here.
Yeah. I was saying, what can we expect in Central Andros on the 12th? What's going to be happening then?
I'm going to tell you what we're going to expect. I will bring Donna McQueen Stubbs on. She is our event planner for this Gombe Summer Festival to welcome the world to the big yard to play. Go ahead, Donna.
Good morning, Bahamas.
Good morning.
Good
Good morning.
morning.
Mosquito will march, crabs will crawl,
Uh-oh.
and you can eat them all at our Gombe Summer Festival, August 12, 2022, at the Queen's Park in Fresh Creek, and on August 13 at the Regatta site in Morgan's Bluff, North Andros. Come and enjoy our Andros icon, Mr. Elon Moxie,
Oh, wow.
the Spice Band, Junkanoo with Brian and the kids, Fire Dancing with Mr. Action Jackson, and our very own DJ Turbulence and DJ Cardi Davis. Come and experience our cultural explosion managed by Miss Rochelle Mackey of Bowen Song Andros. And for further information, you go to 427-4373, 427-4378. See you there August 12th, Queen's Park in Fresh Creek, August 13th at the Regatta site in Morgan's Bluff.
Okay, so we heard from the others about discounts and stuff like that. Can we get that as well? Are there opportunities like that for Central Andros? Next month because it's July now.
Yes,
next
definitely.
Mm-hmm. What can you
We
tell
are
us?
working with our air transportation, Lee Air, Titan Air, Western Air, And don't forget, Andros has the best air taxi service out of General Aviation. All of them are working with to get discounts for this event, and they're all going to be cooperating with us. So you need to call us at our numbers that Donna just gave you, 427-4373, 427-4378, for the discount packages that will be available for ground transportation, air transportation, sea transportation, and accommodations. And also for car rentals in North and Central Andros.
Mm-hmm. Okay, all right.
This is going to be a good getaway for the Bahamians to come and experience the family islands. Bring your shad line, your 30-pound test shad line, and your shad hooks. You're going to break some crab finish. You're going to stand on the beach, and you're going to catch some shad. You're going to cook them and have that down-home crab and grits and fry fish experience. And we're going to have activities that are going to take you back to your real family island roots. Donna, you want to go through these activities and let them know what Shelley is going to let them experience.
Okay, we're going to have our crab sack race, crab clipping contest, flash gumbe dance. We're going to have the quadrille and the gumbe dance competition, a count cracking and skinning competition.
Wow.
We're going to do a tug of war, dominoes, and of course we're going to have our trivia and lots of giveaways.
This is going to be great. Wow. Okay. So we heard everybody. We've got Berry Islands. We've got North and Central Andros. And that's just part of what's going to be going on. It begins today. The Bahamas Gumbe Summer begins today in Abaco, Dundas Town, and that's July 1st and July 8th. We've got Exuma in Georgetown, July 2nd as well. So that's starting tomorrow. You've got Harbor Island tomorrow. Grand Bahama Laverne, you got July 7th, July 14th, the 21st, and the 28th. You've got South Andros on July 9th, and Mangrove Key, July 23rd, and of course Bimini and Berry Islands, July 30th, Central Andros and North Andros, August 12th and 13th, and Long Island, August 20th, and Eleuthera, August 27th. So 2 whole months of just getting to know the Bahamas even better, and this is fantastic. What type of impact this is going to have on all of your communities there?
It's going to be an incredible impact to our community because our domestic tourism during this time of the year helps fill our hotel rooms during the slow period for foreign visitors during the summer. And this is going to be wonderful. It's also going to be wonderful for the nation. You know, it's important that that Andros diaspora and the rest of the family island diaspora that lives in New Providence and Grand Bahama come back to their roots and experience the family islands. Come and see why the rich and famous come and spend their time here with us.
Yeah. Absolutely. And Lavon and Corenda, what about your islands? How much of an impact will this have?
Go ahead, Corenda.
Well, definitely it will impact our island. Bimini is made up of families, and this is an opportunity for families to get together. And our families are not only in Bimini, they're all throughout the islands. So this gives them an opportunity to come together and have an awesome time, go down memory lane, do some skipping, some marbles, knock-tot, Laverne, you remember all of those stuff what we used to do in school?
Yes,
I'm smiling. It's going to allow us to be kids again. So I would say that this definitely is going to impact our domestic tourism here on the island. We have our international tourists that will be here as well. As I indicated previously, you know, Bimini is the gateway to the Bahamas. So in order for you to get through the gate, you got to come to Bimini. So we have quite a bit of tourists that will be here. It gives the locals an opportunity to share their culture internationally or with the international guests. So we're looking forward to this. And I just only wanted to add our telephone contact at the Bimini Tourist Office is 347-3528-9 if you need any further information. So we just ask you to come on down and have a great time. And I love the terminology. Come down to Bimini, lay low in Bimini. You know, it's really an awesome experience that we're going to be looking forward to on July 30th on the island of Bimini.
Okay. And Lavon, let's talk about the Berry Islands.
Yes, with the Barry Island, this is going to be a big impact for that island. It has been a while since anything has been going on, like we had said earlier with the pandemic. So this is really one of the first major event that the island is having for some time. So everyone is excited. I know that I am. You would think, I mean, I'm a kid at heart. I am excited about this whole event. We're going to have this in Christopher Roberts Community, be right there in Bullocks Harbor. The chief consular administrator, they're getting the park all ready for us. So it's like I said, it's all about families. We're inviting everybody out. If you know anything about the Barry Island have a huge second homeowner community. We will be tapping into that and inviting them all out to come and participate in this event, to sample our food, all the various activities, bring families, even they can enjoy a lot of this themselves. So in the park, there's a lot of space to do that. And the impact when we talk about those people in the community, while the Barry Islands may not have many hotels as such, but they still have a lot of places that you can stay with a bit of Airbnb, and people have a number of units that they can rent out, which is easy to find. But so it's going to impact this community, truly needs it. It's been a while, so I'm encouraging all Barry Islanders, all family, friends of the Barry Islands to please come and share, enjoy what we have to offer. Peter thinks he's the only one that have crab catching. I mean, we're having our crab catching contest as well, Peter. So I need to let you know that. Okay? So we will have that going on. So that is going to be something wonderful. And everybody's looking forward to it. I know that I am. And we all getting prepared. Yeah. We have a cadre of vendors, a number of activities, and also lots of entertainment.
This is going to be great. 2 whole months of it spread out throughout the country. And beginning today, folks, Bahamas Goombay Summer. And if you want more information, bahamas.com/summer festivals. And they have all the details there of all the dates that we mentioned. And thank you all for being with us this morning. Corinda Roll, Levon Cooper, Peter Douglas, and your guest Donna.
I would like to add one more thing before you leave.
Yes.
That I just was given a nudge by one of my bonefish guides.
Oh, okay.
One of the things that we want to introduce to the Bahamas is fly fishing. And we're going to have bonefish to explain and teach and give the opportunity for Bahamians to explore and understand the beauty of fly fishing.
Wonderful.
Why the rich and famous come here and enjoy this wonderful sport and get more Bahamians involved in this wonderful sport so
Excellent.
they can experience the beauty of it.
Sounds amazing. Sounds amazing.
And understand why Andrews is the fly fishing, saltwater fly fishing capital of the world.
Definitely. Levon, our texters are saying you didn't give your number for the Barry Island office. Okay, so give us that number, please.
Oh, well, the Barry Island do not have a number, but they can call me at 302-2000. 302-2000. Ask for Levon Cooper or anyone within the Family Island Development Department.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. Appreciate you all. Have a great day. Happy National Pride Day and happy Bahamas Goombay Summer Festival. Hope we get to see some of you. We're going to work on it. But thank you very much. Enjoy your summer.
Thank you.
Enjoy your day.
All right.
Okay.
Think about Bimini.
Yes.
Definitely. All right. LeBron, let's connect.
Okay, absolutely.
All right. We're going to talk.
Bye.
Thanks a lot, Peter. All right. We're going to take a break for news headlines. When we come back, we are talking about robust security systems. How robust are yours? That's in our Safe and Sound series in Morning Blend Business coming up. Stay with us.
Catch the crowd, boy. Catch the crowd, boy. Catch the crowd, boy. The crowd wants me.
This is Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
This is Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news, intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversation. 96.9 FM. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the position of the management and staff of Guardian Network.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Good morning and welcome to Morning Blend Business on this Friday, July 1st, 2022. Can you believe it's July? Welcome back to our Morning Blend listeners. Once again, I'm Dwight Strachan, and we've got Laverne Gardner with us on this Friday in studio in Nassau, and it's been a pleasure having her with us this morning. Once a month, every first Friday each month, we have our Safe and Sound series with Gamal Nuri from Preventative Measures. He is with us this morning. Good morning, sir. Great to see you as always.
Good morning, Dwight. Good morning, Laverne.
Good morning.
I got that right?
Yes, you did.
Good morning, Bahamas. Good to be here.
It's always a pleasure. Today we are going to be talking about robust security systems, just how robust are yours, and talking mainly about business, but we're going to touch on home if we have time in a bit. But I like to start off with these report cards, generally from what you're seeing. How are we doing here in the Bahamas? And maybe it depends on the island, but with our security systems, especially for our businesses here.
Right, and you hit the nail on the head in regards to the Bahamas. We have different islands, and so different risks, different exposures on each island. And certainly New Providence is perhaps light years ahead of everybody regarding criminality. And that's because of the populace, and that's because you have the concentration of business. So you're going to have the bad guys are going to target where they're going to have the most return. Just like any business, I'm looking for the best return on my investment. So they're going to make sure the business of burglary, the business of crime, and it's the same science, the same set. I'm going to go where I'm going to get the best reward for my effort.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So Auckland, that's my people from Auckland. So far we're not doing too bad. I understand from Laverne that Grand Bahama is having some issues, but certainly that would be Grand Bahama, Abaco, the more developed islands. Population again, it impacts the criminality, the criminal elements. So certainly that's expected.
So have businesses kept up with the technology, and they seem to have a lot of technology of the criminals, the savvy of the criminals?
It's becoming very, how should I put it? The criminals are keeping pace. Businesses are reacting. Something happened. There's a broken door here, so we go and reinforce that door. We get a camera system, we plug it in, but we don't go back and check to see if it's actually recording. Wow. We don't. I think I must give a lot of kudos to a lot of the alarm companies where they would do morning checks. They would provide you with some type of report letting you know that, yes, your system is up and running, or there is a fault in your system. And
I get that. I've never looked at it.
You've never looked at it?
I should be looking at that.
Right. You should look at it. Yeah. And if they're proactive too, they would point out to you that, yes, this is a weakness, this is a problem, we need to come and fix that. So alarm companies are pretty aggressive in that, and I think that's to commend the various operations here on New Providence. They're pretty aggressive and progressive in that type of reporting.
Yeah.
Kamal, how much are you seeing people just factoring in security and opening their business, like you say, instead of being reactive? Okay, I've had a break-in, so now I want to put in a security system. But from the very onset, I'm opening this business and I'm factoring this in terms of my resources, finance. I want to have a security system.
Right. That now becomes a part of your budget in many instances where businesses would, and again that really depends too on what you're investing in. If it's if it's a lot of movable products, if you're dealing with a grocery store or jewelry store, certainly I would want to have additional eyes on that product. But then again, some businesses where they don't feel that asset can be easily removed. so they don't put as much emphasis on it. But I think any business, anybody opening a business or in business, there's some things that you need to have. You should have a security system if you're serious about business, and you should have a generator if you're serious about business. It's just one of those things, in my opinion, that
Right, that's
you
just
just
a part
need.
of
That's
it.
a part of
That's
it.
just
Yeah, you got to bite that bullet.
automatically
Yeah.
included.
All right, so let's define security system, because what someone thinks is a security system might be
Right,
a
for
joke
them,
to you,
Right,
as
for
a
them, a
professional.
security system may be having a security
Right.
officer.
Right. So a security system is encompassing not only the technology, what we're talking about now, like cameras and alarm systems, but it's also incorporating the people, because that technology is only as good as the operators, as the persons who are going to be tasked with managing, monitoring that system or installing that system. And certainly the people are also going to be a part of your next security system element, which is your policies and procedures. How do you have your processes in place? What should staff be doing in regards to cash controls? How should staff be monitoring for fraud? Things like that. How do staff respond to armed robberies or even in an opening and closing procedure? So now your policy. So it's really people, policies, and technology. Those are the three elements that make up your system, and they need to be working. Like I said, it's a multi-layered, integrated approach to security. So you can have people, but if you don't have the policies that guide them on how they should perform
right.
or prepare or respond, then you're going to have a challenge. And then certainly technology is there to assist and give you, I guess, extra hands on deck, so to speak.
I'm curious, when people open up a business, I'm curious how many of them during that training say, okay, this is, of course, you don't really know how you're going to react until something happens, but to say, this is in the event of, God forbid, a robbery or a
Right.
break-in,
Right.
this is what we do. This is what we do in the event. This is what I need you to do. There's a silent alarm or there isn't, or just comply or whatever. Like, have those conversations so that the staff knows.
Yeah. We talked about the last time. you were on the
Last
show
time, right,
about
right.
Drills and
Drills and
people who don't
testing,
do
and
this.
testing, right.
Yeah.
Or
Right.
even here are some red flags. We're not saying that this is always the case, but if you see someone come in and they're doing this is a red flag. Be on alert. Begin, be more attentive.
And that comes with your policies and procedures, which will speak to training and awareness, which is a part of your security program as well. If you have a robust program, you're going to constantly remind staff that, hey, guys, this is what's happening in our community. This is what's happening in this business environment. Banks are being robbed or hospitals are experiencing fraud. So this is the type of things we want to look out for. So that's training and awareness, sensitizing persons, as simple as counterfeit currency. Right. If you pay attention to the police and central bank reports, if there's a spree of counterfeit notes that are out in the market, you would want to make staff aware of how to identify those things so you don't experience that loss. You don't want somebody coming and buy $500 worth of product or service and you find out that $450 is counterfeit.
Wow.
That's not a good day in business.
Okay, so what are some of the other things that people need to keep in mind? Businesses need to, especially based on trends that you might be seeing right now.
Right. So, I've outlined actually 11 things that the business needs to be looking at. And the first one would be business type. What is your business? What type of services are you offering? And does that particular service present a greater risk to you as opposed to a different type of service? And that's important. Let's say a commercial bank has a certain set of security priorities, and that's going to be different from a private bank.
Right.
Both of them are banks, but how a commercial bank that's dealing with front-end customers, face-to-face customers, versus, say, some private entity that's dealing with more technology. So the commercial bank's concern may be along the line of armed robbery or even customer robbery, things of that sort, how secure is their parking lot, that type of thing, whereas a private bank, they're going to be concerned about compliance issues and money laundering and also things like fraud, identity theft. So in both instances, those things are there, but where do you place them in your list of priorities? Another thing, again, is inventory type. What are you selling? Because if you have a business, again, I have my business type, so now we're looking at, let's say, a food store, or let's look at an auto parts store. These things, somebody can pick up and move a particular item. So what is my inventory type and how do I secure that? That's going to vary from business to business. You know, I always talk when I do a training, you know, doing security in a hospital is different than doing security in a hotel. Right? Both of those services are open 24 hours, 7 days a week. You're going to have people coming in and out, but the client that's going to be coming to that business is going to be different. Yeah. How does your security manage the person coming in for healthcare services versus that person who's coming in for pleasure and recreation? You're going to have to manage them differently, and your risks also change. Right? Another one is location. Like location. You know, that's one of the things that a business looks for. I want to be in the best location. I want to be available, and I want to be in this. So, but again, where you located is going to impact what your risk are.
Absolutely.
You know, if you're going to, and I'm not going to call any areas to get myself in
I
trouble.
was going because I was going to say that we've got some places here bustling in the day.
Yes.
But 5:30 p.m.
Yes.
Ghost town.
Yes.
And
so we can call it an area, I guess.
Yeah,
you can say something
Palmdale.
like Palmdale, right?
Palmdale.
This is obvious, right?
Yeah.
Right, where you have, and even downtown, you know,
Yes,
Bay Street,
yes,
you know.
yes, you're right.
Where, you know, you have all of this bustling. So does a business in those locations, do they want to stay open past the peak period, certain times? You know, they have to wait. And again, it goes back to now what that business type is. Because if I'm a retail store, I may want to be closing at 5 o'clock on the dot. But if I'm a restaurant and bar, maybe I stay open a later. Exactly.
Right.
And so those are the things that I have to look at based on and my location. How am I setting up that business again? And I go back to number 2. How do I set up my inventory in that location?
Yeah.
You know, because again, my inventory, the exposure, do I put my inventory to the front of the store? Do I put it to the back of the store? Where do I place that cash register? There's something called crime prevention through environmental design, where there's an actual process on how do you build out that particular store. If you go, for example, if you look at some of the service stations and even the food stores, you'll see how they have their aisles set up. If you look, you can always look straight down those aisles. Those aisles are kept clean, and if you're driving by, the amount of paraphernalia and advertising that's on those on those windows is minimum, so that just a casual passerby can see directly into that building. So crime prevention through environmental design. Where do you place that cashier in relation to your store? Where do you place mirrors in that store, not for you to look at yourself, but so they can see behind those corners. You see? Things like that.
All right, let's talk some more about that, because several things you mentioned there. Okay, so as you say, you need the window so you can see in, but we're noticing more and more people putting up images and that you cannot see in. You might be able to see out from the advertising, what they do in there, and people outside can't tell what's going on inside. That is dangerous.
Yes.
But when you see that, what do you think?
It's trying to create that balance between, I have all of this blank space, right?
And I want to fill it up.
I want to fill it up so it does something. It brings some sort of return. So now I have to balance between putting up that advertisement, getting persons to come inside, but also I'm now blocking out the entire establishment. But that also goes back to as well, because what impacts that is the business type. If I have a facility that I don't want people to see what my customers are doing inside or have a casual view, then I may want to put that up. So it's bringing that balance to that. If I want to put up advertising, maybe I don't cover the entire window. Maybe I cover half of the window, maybe the top portion, leaving the bottom portion clear. So just bring some sort of balance to it, or just segment it. And that's where, again, I think businesses have to appreciate that what we call a clear line of sight, okay, or natural surveillance is important in how you attract customers. I'll use, for example, ATM vestibules. Again, here's an opportunity for financial institutions to advertise, but no, they keep those glasses clean, they keep them clear, so the casual passerby can see what's going on, what's happening inside it, in the event somebody's being accosted.
Yeah. One more thing with like a Palmdale, if you do have a restaurant or a pub there, what would you say to them if they want to stay open? They feel that there are people who are leaving work who might want to stop in. Would you say it's not worth it, or is there something they can consider?
Definitely, I would never say it's not worth it. You have to weigh the risk and prepare yourself accordingly. I would definitely invest in guard service, physical presence, because that guard now acts as a deterrent. They can act as a greeter as well, and they're doing that natural surveillance. They're identifying persons as they come in. That person, and again, this is an investment, and you may not see the immediate, tangible cash return, but that makes me as a customer, hey, there's somebody in the parking lot because
I feel comfortable.
Right, exactly. Especially with females, with ladies, right? You know, to have somebody in that parking lot that I'm coming in and going. My vehicle is some semblance of safety as well, so I can go inside and enjoy your whatever you're selling.
Be saying, no, it's okay.
Right.
You know, are you saying it's okay to go there because, well, you know that they have security.
Right.
So
right.
There's a measure of comfort.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I saw just even in terms of placing products and how you place your products, maybe about 6 months ago, maybe less. I was just watching the U.S. news, and there was a gentleman. He owned a store. He sell like sneakers, right? And the people came in from the roof, and of course,
boy.
you know, and they stole all of them, every last one. And he was imploring them and saying, "Bring them back. They're of no value to you.
What?
Bring them back." As a security measure, they only put out the left shoe.
Right.
Interesting.
So-
Interesting.
Yeah.
The person robbed the place, and you've only got the left foot of every single sneaker. Everyone. He said, as a security measure, we only put out the left foot of everyone. So you see all of them there, but they're all only the left foot.
And
Wow.
it sounds good in theory, right? It sounds good in theory, but don't forget now, when you're doing a security program, you want to look at how the impact of the loss, because even if I take the left shoe or the right shoe, I still can't sell it because it's a paired product, right? And then the damage to get in. So let's say they don't get any shoes at all, but they just tore a big hole
In the roof.
in your roof, right? So when you're doing, and that's why I talk about putting layers in place, because you have to appreciate that even though they may not get the target, the damage that is caused, there's still a loss incurred. Exactly. There's still a loss incurred. And as a business person, you need to weigh that as well. So I kept the product safe, but they just tore down the whole door. You know, so how do you manage that? And some things you have to transfer to insurance. Does your insurance cover somebody ripping open your roof, right? So that type of thing. So, and all that is a part of your security program. Yeah.
Caller, we'll get to you in a second. You're not finished your list as yet, right?
No,
but I want to ask you one
Sure.
thing. So, I mean, all right. So, thinking about that, people will have the doors and the windows and everything secure, but you might not be thinking about the roof. Do you need to hire some criminals to hey, what would you do? Or do companies like yours do this?
Right before you hire a company, don't hire the criminal.
Don't hire the criminal. Just what would you do if you were going to rob a
You wanted
place?
to get in here. Tell me what you would do. Would you go to the roof?
And that's important, you know, because what would I do? You have to sometimes, put yourself in that other person's position.
Yeah.
And I always use this one of my tests. If I'm dealing with a client, and I'm walking the perimeter, I climb up the fence, and they say, "What are you doing?" I say, "If I can climb that fence, then I know those young guys they're gonna be doing triple somersaults over that fence, right, or that wall, right." So you have to really think, what is this guy can do? When you go up into the ceiling and you see what type of exposure is there, because it looks good from the outside, but then it's vulnerable. So you want to make sure put the necessary things in place.
Yeah. All right, let's take this call, and then we'll get back to your list, Kamal Nuri. Good morning. Caller, you're on the air.
Pleasant good morning, Dwight. How are you?
Doing well.
Excellent. Pleasant good morning, Mr. Nuri.
Good morning. How are you, sir?
I have a question for you. Well, Jamal actually trained me in the police force. That man's serious about business. I still have nightmares about some of those early morning sessions.
Don't reveal the secrets, man. Don't say it, man.
Never, Jamal. But I wanted to know your thoughts, Jamal, on business owners being armed with handguns to defend their property.
Wow. Okay. Oh, boy. Thanks a lot.
Yes, I think that handguns, firearms should be made available to every citizen. Now, listen carefully, Dwight. I see you give me that look, right? I think that once we have the necessary criteria in place, unlike driver's license, where you just get that license and you pay for that, every year, every 6 months, perhaps we should test that person's competency, their skill set, their psychological mindset. But I don't think we should just deny the public because we feel that it's a bad thing. And on the flip side, which is so interesting, is that the government issues, without any hesitation, they issue shotguns and rifles for the purpose of hunting, right? And for those of us who go hunting, right, there's no criteria, there's no specification, there's no revamping, no checking, no review. But when it comes to a business owner who is dealing in a high-risk environment, who presents the credentials, who is prepared to do whatever what is necessary, it's just a flat-out no.
Yeah.
And I don't think that doesn't make sense. You know, if you want me to do business and I'm trying to cover all aspects, I'm paying my taxes, I'm employing persons, but I'm also at risk. So I should have an opportunity within reason to defend myself. You know, because you can be protected throughout the process, but you can become a target. Recently, we had a well-known business person, a good friend of mine as well. He was targeted at his home. You know, and he was taken back to a store, taken back to ATMs, things of that sort.
Yeah.
You know, and because he is a business person.
Yeah.
So we need to give persons an opportunity to defend themselves, and again, within reason, with the protocols, whatever stringent measures that the government determines is necessary,
including psychological.
Psychological, without a doubt, psychological and retraining.
Yeah.
You don't give me a firearm today and then you never test to see my competency on it for the next 10, 15 years. You're just collecting the tax.
Yeah.
And that's what's happening now with shotguns and rifles. You know?
Okay. Let's see if we can take this call really quickly, and then we've got to take a break, and then we'll come back to your list, Gamal.
Sure.
Caller, good morning, Morning Glen Business.
Good morning, Dwight.
Hi.
I don't know if these the folks you have in there. I can start from the police. Sometimes when you pass in the road on Bay Street or whatever, the police head is being more in their cell phones and observing what is around them. I don't know if you notice it. You pass down, every police have, it's nothing wrong having the cell phone, but you're supposed to be observing of your awareness. But most of them, their head is be down in their cell phone, and they're not looking around, being aware of their surroundings. When I was the police years ago, we had to do it. The only thing we had was our notebook, but cell phone is good, but they got to be more observant. Another thing, I don't know if they're going these food stores, set it up with the managers and watch their staff. People come move into the store. Why? Because the workers had in their cell phone too. They're not observing, so they should set up with the manager, go in the store, say, we can try to set up something here, and go and take things out and see how much staff will be watching things is being stolen out of their store. That's something they need to implement. Set up with the managers, the owners. We're going in here, we can be like undercover boss.
Oh, boy.
Break it up like that and see how many times you could go in that store, take something out without the staff knowing.
Okay. All right. Interesting. Do you do stuff like that, Gamal? Yeah.
Yes, definitely. And I agree wholeheartedly. There is a trend of late where law enforcement and security, the smartphone or the telephone has become more of a impediment to the delivery of the service as opposed to something that can be an aid too. So I cringe when I see law enforcement and security with their phones and they're on duty. It makes absolutely no sense to me.
Yeah.
You know?
All right, let's take a break, and when we come back, we'll get back to your list.
Sure.
We are talking about robust security systems for your business with Gamal Nuri with preventative measures. This is Morning Blend Business. It's our Safe and Sound series each month. We'll be back. Stay with us.
I can lift you up. I can show you what you want to see and take you where you want to be. You could be my luck. Even if the sky is falling down, I know that we'll be safe and sound. We're safe and sound.
The Access Accelerator Small Business Development Center is here to help small businesses throughout the entire Bahamas. To better serve you, we've made it easier to contact us. Call 461-7232, WhatsApp 359-0626 or 359-2394, email helpdesk@spdcbahamas.com, or submit a ticket when you visit our help center at accessaccelerator.org. The Access Accelerator, empowering small business.
Beulah, gal, can you believe this? We are now the patrol queens of the neighborhood.
We now large and in charge, so we need to check out what's going on in everybody's yard. What about that gun that we know that Junior and his homeboys just ran out? Can we report that too?
Of course we can.
But we could be in deep trouble if they find out.
We need to report what we see, Beulah. When you call Crime Stoppers, they just answer your call in Miami.
So then we can report everything? Guns, where they hiding the drugs, who shoot who part of which gang, or who disturbing the peace with the loud music and the motorcycles.
Then our neighborhood will be the best in the Bahamas, and everybody gonna want to come live here. And then our house price will go up, gal.
So what we waiting on? What's the number?
If you see something, say something. Let us all pitch in and stop the crime before it's your time. Call 328-8477 from Nassau or 242-300-8477 from the Family Islands. Or text us through the Crack Crime Bahamas app. Stop the crime before it's your time.
I used to think of the bank as my personal ATM machine. If I wanted a new car, new furniture, a weekend trip to Miami, no problem, just max out the credit card or top up my loan. I was a big baller until I realized that 75% of my salary was going to pay back all those loans. Fidelity's personal financial coaching was the best solution. Fidelity gave me a plan with a debt consolidation loan that has a built-in savings that pays 5% interest. I now only have one low monthly payment, plus money in my pocket. Give Fidelity Bank a call at 356-7764 in Nassau or 352-6676 in Freeport. Visit any of Fidelity's locations or visit a website at fidelitygroup.com.
Hello? Keisha, you something else, boy.
Who this is? Tamika?
You don't even remember my name? Wow, Dread.
Girl, I've been so busy. You still planning your trip?
Girl, and I can't wait. I right here online booking my car.
You dare planning trip? You vaccinated?
Girl, we had to. We ain't been nowhere since this pandemic started. Girl, and we got a 14-day vacation.
Best vacation ever.
Girl, are you though?
Well, I know you was gonna get the vaccine because you too like travel. When y'all get your vaccine?
Girl, long time. Because you gotta get your first dose, wait, then get your second dose at least 2 weeks before you travel. Johnny get his vaccine and he 12. Even Grammy get hers. Child, and Grammy say she ain't get no money. But I see her hiding that under the mattress.
Child, let me send my list, because I know you going shopping.
Keisha, don't play with me.
Vaccinate today, live tomorrow. A message by PAHO WHO, Canada, and USAID.
At Western Union, we have different sending options for you to use the one that fits you best. You can send money directly to bank accounts around the world, or for cash pickup by visiting our agent locations. Or you can also start your money transfer in our app and then pay cash in store. Look for an agent location near you, or download our app and send money to your loved ones abroad.
The Access Accelerator Small Business Development Center is here to help small businesses throughout the entire Bahamas. To better serve you, we've made it easier to contact us. Call 461-7232, WhatsApp 359-0626 or 359-2394, email helpdesk@spdcbahamas.com, or submit a ticket when you visit our help center at accessaccelerator.org. The Access Accelerator, empowering small business. Earning zero interest on your savings at the bank? With as little as $100, you can start earning interest on your money while you're sleeping, eating, or standing in line at the bank with the CFAL Savings Express Plan. Ready to invest? Start by putting $1,000 into our mutual funds and earn interest there too. Because at CFAL, your interest is our interest. Visit CFAL.com to start now. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations of Bahamians.
It is time for your morning business report brought to you by CFAL. The government believes it will be in a position to launch the first blue carbon credit from Bahamian seagrass before the end of this year and expects in the next few months to launch the country's first carbon exchange through cryptocurrency exchange, FTX. That's according to Senior Policy Advisor and head of the Prime Minister's Delivery Unit, Jerome Fitzgerald. He said yesterday the Blue Carbon Charting the Path for Governance and Partnerships event yesterday at the United Nations Ocean Conference 2022. Fitzgerald said in the next 2 to 3 months, scientists who have been mapping the country's blue carbon assets will complete their research and present their findings to the Verification of Environmental Technologies for Agricultural Production Testing Program. Bahamas has an opportunity to provide shore power for cruise vessels, but dilapidated electricity infrastructure and high debt are just a few factors that could hamper its development. That's according to Chief Executive Officer of Nassau Cruise Port, Mike Moore Jr., Moore making the remarks while part of a panel at the IDB's Invest Sustainability Week 2022 conference in Miami. Moore says that shore power is important because it is part of the cruise industry's wider commitment to net zero carbon emissions, and many ships are being equipped to plug in when they dock at ports. We told you about it yesterday, an impasse between Gold Rock, one of Grand Bahama's largest concrete manufacturers, and Grand Bahama Development Company. That's led to Gold Rock announcing the shutdown of 2 of its manufacturing divisions, which could threaten the construction industry on Grand Bahama. Gold Rock, in a statement released Wednesday, said it was being given extremely limited access to necessary raw materials to support its block and ready-mix divisions, and attempts to meet with DevCo to hash out a sustainable solution failed. You can read more in today's Guardian business section. And Bahamas Air relaunching its weekly nonstop flights from Grand Bahama to Orlando, kicking off a limited time schedule that ends in September. The kickoff began yesterday. Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Tourism, Investments and Aviation, Chester Cooper, says that Florida is a priority market for the Bahamas and that travel is back in a big way for this summer. In your Market Watch, recapping trading on the BISX from Thursday. Your market movers, APD Limited, moving 215 shares, closing unchanged at $39.95. Bahamas Waste moving 2,000, unchanged at $9.75. CIBC First Caribbean Bank moving 7,000, down $1.17 to $16. Commonwealth Bank moving 61,501, up 25 cents to $3.60. And Consolidated Water down 2 cents, closing at $2.80. Emera Incorporated down 3 cents, closing at $11.49. The BISX All Share Index closing at 2,584.06, down 28.20. That's your Market Watch, and that is your morning business report brought to you by CFAL, growing wealth for future generations. And we are back here with Morning Blend Business. It's our Safe and Sound series each month, every first Friday in the month, unless it's a holiday. And we've got Gamal Nuri with preventative measures with us. Dwight Strong along with Laverne Gardner in studio in Nassau.
Yes.
First time ever.
Ever.
After all these years. But thank goodness for Zoom and being able to talk to you every week. Hey, look at that. Okay, so Gamal, you're going through this list of things that and businesses and types of business that people need to think about. Let's continue with that.
Okay, so number 4 on the list speaks to access. And again, that speaks to how do you control or not control access of persons getting in? Do you track credentials to confirm that it's actually Gamal Nuri versus Dwight Strachan, that type of thing? Mm-hmm. And then when persons get in, how free are they able to move around your business? And again, that's going to be dictated by the type of business you have. If it's a food store, certainly persons are going to have all access throughout the store for the most part. There's certain restricted areas. And let's say as opposed to a financial institution or an office where you're going to come, a radio station, I have to sit in the foyer, wait to be escorted to the location. So that's all of that is a part of access control, not just getting in, but how that person or individual moves in and around your premises.
Let me ask you something. So I've worked at a number of media companies and they've had different rules. So everybody at one organization has an access card and can get in the building. But in another place, only you have to be buzzed in by security. Are there risks when you have everybody who works there having access What's preferable there?
It depends on the culture of that particular business, and certainly those access cards should have some type of restriction, meaning they can only get in between, let's say, 8 and 6 o'clock, that type of thing. They can't get in on the weekends, and you should only be able to get into areas where they're actually working. Your card shouldn't allow you to have all access through the entire building throughout the day. So access cards are convenient once they're managed properly.
What if the type of company that is just constantly working? There's going to be things. There's going to be weekend work. There's going to be overtime. There's going to be things happening.
So you set those credentials accordingly to that. But again, when you say always working, 24 hours, 7 days a week, that type of thing.
Potentially.
So if you have to now supplement that with a security service, because if you have that, but that's not the norm, it may be an extreme. So your security service may be needed to assist in allowing access after hours, where that person should sign in as well. You know, why are you coming in here at 3 o'clock in the morning? That kind of thing, right? You know, and of course the thing is does the job allow for that type of access? So,
especially when you don't need to be there until 11 a.m.
Right. Exactly.
Couldn't you with access cards give everybody certain credentials? Like, okay, you're in this area and you need to have access from 11 to 11.
Right.
But I'm in the office and we close at 5:30, so I only need access from 9 to 5:30.
Right, and that's what you call compartmenting the card, so that I have a card, but the access that you may get over in may be different than the access that I get, and that's how you compartment. And then what's good about the access as well is, if I'm trying to get in outside of my time, it also registered that, hey, Kamal tried to get in at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Well,
why?
What are you doing at 3 o'clock in the morning? You know, that's not a part of your, you know, your job description. You know, so those types of things. And even with some hotels, I mean, if you work at a hotel, when you're off, you need to go home.
Yeah.
You don't need to be hanging around. You know, and especially in employee areas, you may come as a customer, but you shouldn't be hanging out in employee areas during your off time. Okay. So the next one on the list is emergency response. Having an emergency response plan. If something happens, what does your staff do? What do you do? What is your contingency plans in the event there's some type of, whether it's a fire, whether it's an armed robbery, whether it's a power failure? Because again, when we go back to the first item, business type, power failure may be more devastating to your operations than another type of operation, because you're totally dependent on power versus another business. You know, IT services totally dependent upon power. They can't have a downtime. You know, the baker maybe not. You know, radio stations totally dependent upon power. You guys can't have a downtime. So that's going to dictate how your response is going to be to those types of events. And certainly, in your security plan, you should have insurance, because there's some things you just cannot control, and you want to manage that loss as best as possible. So you transfer that risk to one of those agencies out there who are more than willing, I'm sure, depending on your business, to insure it and help you recover from that incident. So insurance is, again, a very important part of your security planning program. You know, number 7 on the list is employees. And the caller earlier talked about the employees' involvement in that security program. Employees are going to make and break your program. I talked about the 3 things earlier: policies and practices. But employees, the people that you're employed, who are employed by you, they're going to need to know what they should do, what they should not do, what are the rules, what are the regulations. And number 8, customer. Who is your customer? Who is coming in? You know, again, that's going to go back to your type of business. So your type of business is going to attract a certain type of customer, and you're going to have some customers you know, customers who you don't know. Right. And in the financial sector, they call it KYC, knowing your customer. And that's, what do they do, their practices, their behavior. And that's across any business. You want to know that, hey, this guy, this particular customer, he's always rowdy, but he's a nice guy.
Right.
So security knows how to manage that. But here comes someone else who's rowdy. You don't know that person. You have to take different measures on that with that person. All right, so, and we're looking at awareness and education, which is not just for customers, but also for staff. You want to make sure that everybody knows what they should do, what they should not do. They should know what are some of the risks inherent to that business, so they can behave accordingly. The last item on the list, that's my 10th item, is continuous review. you need to make sure that what you did 20 years ago ain't the same thing you're doing.
Right,
It's still
right,
relevant,
right.
right? So because we have a lot of businesses, we have some organizations that are still trying to do what they did 20 years ago. You know, the caller talked about, I smiled when he talked about with policing, because I'm a old policeman, still on the force kind of person. And I remember the days of our notebook, right? But now that notebook is it's still relevant, but you know everybody has a smartphone. So how do you integrate that? And there's opportunities to integrate
so is that what they're doing when they're on the phone? They're putting in the notes?
That's what I'm saying.
I'm not sure what they're doing, right?
They're making notes.
But I'm saying you can integrate that in. So what are you doing? Continuously review, because things change. You know, finances change. You may not have enough resources or the same resources you had last year, so you may have to cut back on a security element. Which one is the best one? Right. Which can I do without? So that's essentially it in a nutshell. Yeah. The 10 way or the 10 parameters that you can use to make sure and assess your program and make sure it's robust.
Yeah.
You know?
This is a full-time thing. You got to keep working at this.
It's a living. Yes, exactly. Because conditions change. You know, your circumstances may change. Your employees may change. You know, you may bring in a new product that increases your risk. You may remove a product that reduces your risk. So all of those things have to be assessed.
Yeah. All right. Good advice there. I'm curious to know how well, we only have like about 30 seconds left, but how many people actually are doing this and like really actively going through these lists and checking and regularly checking from what you see around here. People just do something and let it go.
No, I think what you have for the most part is businesses that are regulated, that are heavily regulated, and in a lot of instances, financial institutions, power companies, industrial plants, hospitals. Yeah. They have regulatory bodies that make sure that these security elements are a true program.
Okay.
For the other persons, maybe not as much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's good to know. Gamal Nuri, Preventative Measures. How can people reach you if they want to get more advice and what have you, test their systems?
Yes, I'm available. You can reach me at 357-9949. I'm also available via LinkedIn, Gamal Nuri, or Preventative Measures. You can Google the company, Preventative Measures, and the name will pop up.
Yeah.
But Gamal Nuri, always available to assist. And thanks for having me again.
Thank you. We'll see you again next month. And happy National Pride Day to you. And happy Independence. And Laverne.
Yes.
We got to see if we can do this like once a month.
Yes, we have to do this at least once a month.
So I'll come to you and you come to me. We'll do it like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
That will definitely work.
You look good in the studio.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We need to make this.
We got to make this happen.
We want to make a move to Nassau.
No.
We're going to take a break. No, that's it for the show. That's it for the show.
It.
Hey, thank you so much. Have a great weekend, everybody. Stay tuned for On the Clock with Aaron Green coming up next.